Right. So I wanted to do this call because I like a lot of creators made a video on the patch notes, and it was like everyone was happy about the patch notes, and then there was my video talking shit about the patch notes. So I wanted to ask for opinions on other people to see how they feel about the treasure system in general. My take was that I think the collectibles is a good thing for all characters in general because it's more power. But I feel like putting behind MLB the treasures, it's limiting, and the only reason to do it is because of greed to release characters in the future that will depend on those treasures. So I want to go, maybe one by one on the two guys. What did you guys think about it?
Okay, well, boys, who's gonna go first?
I'm updating my background. Hold on. There we go.
Guy's a cringe RL fan. People leave, bro. Out of here. No, I'm kidding.
You can
Forkle.
go
Must Forkle.
left to right if you can. So you can start gold.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna start on a positive note. For one, you got to think about this from like a money standpoint, right? If they really make it to the point where we have to MLB, more money for shift up, so more money for them equals more events, more better content. They see that these people spend on like let's say for example the treasure and the collectibles system wasn't just tied to like old units, right? It was tied to new banner units, right? Like new raid ups. Um, that would be good for the company in general. But like you said, Sefhi, it's dog shit for like every free to play on Earth, right? Because that would mean you would have to pull MLB just to get like the bare minimum, right,
Yeah,
of
you need to get the four
investments.
copies.
Yeah. So it's good. It's good for them. They're making money, bro. They give us more like characters, new events, and crap. But other than that, that's really all I'm gonna say, right? Like it's not really a good thing for free to play because the pool of SSRs in this game is huge.
Yeah, it's like
So
112 for now, I think.
exactly. So like getting MLB for like maybe new units will be okay as long as you summon on the raid up. But like if you want to skip them for some reason, like let's say anniversary, or you want to skip them for like limited banners, right? Then it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough, right? Um, and like if they do end up making that mechanic for like you know collabs and limiteds and whatnot, it's just gonna be the free to play is gonna be crying, bro. They're gonna be crying. Yeah, that's about it from me.
Yeah, I agree with
Next.
that. I think the money point is good in the sense that, okay, more money means more content and better content, but then at the same
Exactly.
time, it ties to what they were talking on the patch notes with the assessment of the abnormal. Like you don't need a year to know that abnormal is trash. Like you don't need like almost like 6 months or 8 months to assess that abnormal is like more money doesn't have to equal to better rewards for the players. But I have to agree with you. That's fine.
Yep.
Jay, my brother, what do you think about the treasure system?
Uh, the real like other negative that I kind of see potentially happening is that it's a floodgate for other kind of greedy systems that are specific to characters. Um, there's a game that some people might know known as King's Raid, where if you did play the game, you know how powerful unique weapons that pertain to each character were, and how whale bait a lot of them were. Free to play people hated that system because it kind of enabled characters to be usable in the first place. It wasn't this character's already usable and the unique weapons just make them slightly better. It was, if you don't have the weapon, they're terrible characters, right? I don't think the system will fix that for NIKKE. I don't think the issue with unusable characters or bad characters is because they don't have a system like that to help them. I just think if they're bad, they're bad, and their balancing is not proven to be that great in the first place, outside of the instance with Red Hood and stuff like that. But I do see a lot of positives that could also come from the system itself. It could make characters completely crazy if they wanted to. Um, and it could also just do what they listed in the patch notes, which was kind of underwhelming for 3 out of the 4 characters, or maybe half the characters on the list. So we don't know yet. They just said what they said as a description, but we don't know the numbers. We don't know how much more powerful it actually can be. So, assuming that they release it in batches, I don't think people have or should have too much to worry about. But we'll see when they actually release it.
Yeah, I agree. It may depend on how often they release the treasures, or what characters they release them, and how
Yep.
strong they make them. My biggest problem was if they make them for like pilgrims or other characters that obviously it's really hard to get. Like most of us here will get MLB all of the pilgrims. Like we don't have that problem. But just because we don't have that problem doesn't mean that we shouldn't look for 90% of our communities too, right? Which is free to play players.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they could do something as simple as adding those collectibles, especially for limited time units, into shops, right? Um, Jesus,
The fucking
they
VTuber.
Get the
like
fuck out of here,
talk-
Ollie. We don't need you in this podcast.
I talked
dog.
about
I'm
this.
sorry.
I talked about this with Sefhi last night, but like for like collaboration units, for example, you know how every event has an event shop with it.
Mhm.
If people were super scared about missing out on getting the collab units collectible, they could easily just add a portion or a number of the collectible into the event shop and have anyone be able to, you know, obtain it if they absolutely wanted to. They're just like simple solutions that I think people are kind of not thinking about in hindsight. But are like right in front if you really just think about it. So there are solutions, but you know, we don't. At the end of the day, we don't know how hard it is going to be to get them. So
Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, but my video, something that people were saying is that I jumped too fast to conclusions, which I agree. But we'll see over time what the system is, though.
yeah, I mean, I think it's okay to do it though.
Yeah,
Like
Ali
it's
was
a
like,
reasonable assumption. So
yeah, Ali was telling me like that title is not gonna be good, and I was like, I know, but it is what it is. It's fine.
yeah,
But yeah,
forewarned.
Pirre, what are your thoughts on this system?
Without going over the same things that other people went over, you guys kind of covered all bases with just the normal stuff like acquiring it through MLB if it's a Pilgrim unit that comes out and we need to obtain it. I guess what I could go through is the scope of competing in like the top endgame shit, which doesn't affect much people. But I was talking to some endgame players, and it's mainly the fact that if they implement a new system that then makes units broken, it's not just allocation of the MLB, it's an allocation of skill manuals, which are sparse to begin with. We don't get a lot of those. It's an allocation of building those units, which require rocks, which we don't get a lot of those. So it's really just like a cascade effect for the top end spenders to just swipe more
Yeah,
forehead.
spend more.
You know, if you're in endgame, I get it. Like it's to fund the game, but NIKKE is competing with like Star Rail and Genshin in terms of income, and it has a vastly lower player base. It's an
Yep.
extremely more predatory game for incentivizing swiping. So I don't know, like from what I've talked to other people about, we're kind of like the sim room's been put on hold, and this kind of cascades into that. We're just like, how do we get more resources if they're gonna keep pumping out characters every 2 weeks or so? If they eventually catch up with the treasure system and new characters come out with treasures, then that's also just more for us to invest in if they're only good with that treasure system. But the main thing for me for free to plays is like you guys said, if it applies to a pilgrim character or God forbid like a liberation unit and it makes that good, we're kind of screwed for the majority of the players aren't going to be grinding union raids. They're not going to be getting union ships. So how are they going to incentivize that? There has to be a new balance within the QOL system to make it easier for people to just get these treasures without like hoarding tickets or swiping. Because reality is like you can save as much as you want for MLB for a pilgrim. You can get fucked on those banners.
Oh, you
Oh,
can.
Like
yeah,
it doesn't.
Yeah.
I've seen you pull for Scaro, Sefhi. Like it gets bad. It gets really bad.
It does. It does.
Oh,
And
no.
even more so in the pilgrim banners with the 1%, you see the difference.
Yeah, you see that. But I guess that's it without stepping over what other people said. I have more gripes with the patch notes in general, but I'm guessing we're gonna go through those in order.
Are we actually, Seffi, or are we just gonna talk about
Just
the treasure?
talk about the treasure system, or
Yeah, what are we doing?
Yeah, you can.
I got your
I
DM
wanted
like
to
last minute,
first about
brother. So
treasures, and then I'll go over the rest of the packs that they and the
Okay.
changes that they were talking about.
okay,
I
cool.
will say the patch notes overall weren't bad. It's
No,
They're
just
mid as
no.
fuck, brother. Stop
It's-
coping. They're mid,
it's
bro.
normal. No. The good things I like are the collectibles. Like the titles are fine, and the new QLs are fine with just getting new cosmetics. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I'm fine with the whole thing. If you're blind, you can find like lost relics easier. If you need like a freaking radar to go off if you're near it now, that's fine. I'm fine with that. This whole stuff with co-op. My gripe comes with all the stuff like that has to do with their upgrade quality of life shit with like, the whole system with overclock and all that, but we can get to that after. I did a whole rant on stream for like an hour and I saw Sky's video after he did a video on
Yeah.
it too.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Oh boy.
but I wouldn't say it was all terrible. There was stuff in there that's fine. They're not going to do a complete miss update. I'm not trying to also bend down and suck shift up's dick. All right, I'm not a content creator. I can talk my shit. Okay, it doesn't matter.
Nah, you can talk shit
we
eventually.
get it.
It's fine.
That's fair.
Right. That said,
Do we ask are we asking the pretty girl in the top corner? now
yes.
over there?
Our
Who
beautiful
is this pretty girl, anyways?
B2 in
No
the
idea.
group. What do you think about the treasure system?
Are you a girl?
Are you a girl?
This is the closest you'll get to a face reveal from me.
Nah, you know what, dog? Turn on that voice changer, bro. We gotta hear that sexy, beautiful voice.
Oh no, you gotta
that shit
pay
on,
the
bro.
redeem price
Oh,
for that.
Oh, fuck your
I'm
redeems.
not
Dude, give it to us
switching
for
that on.
free.
Golden up later, by the way.
I don't care, bro. I want to hear that voice, man.
Gold
go on.
always says people leave when he's on my streams, and I have that, and now he's begging for it. God damn. He went bottom left down bad real fucking quick.
Just
He's
talk
just
about
acting
your point, bro.
like privacy.
But is it my turn now to talk about the treasure? Or okay,
Yes, Miss.
I was a bit
Yes, Miss
confused,
VTuber, please.
for a second there.
please.
I mean, I figured it would be better than having people stare at the void.
Oh, with the camera, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
fuck, that's so
So
cool.
I talked with Sefhi off stream about this, is that this treasure system was the most predictable way ShiftUp could have gone about fixing the whole NIKKE situation when it comes to power levels, because it's not a new system. So Jay talked about King's Raid. Well, there is a lot of other like actually good gacha games that have this system. So you have Arknights that has this. You have the module system with Arknights. You have Princess Connect that has unique weapons. You have the Rest in Peace 07 Revive Witch that had this with the unique weapons. Now, Revive Witch, the unique weapons were fucking gacha, by the way, on top of semi-farmable. So that was really fucking bad and predatory. But you have things like, for example, using the Ligmat in Blue Archive to get extra the unique weapons as well after you get them to 5 stars. So there are like layers of predatory to this type of thing. My concern was like on multiple levels, is that one, how are they going to be implementing it? Is every new NIKKE that is going to be released going to come out with a unique treasure as well, like they do in Arknights? Well, Arknights, they do it per operator type. So the equivalent would be NIKKE to have per weapon type, they release a batch of it. Now, my question is, are they going to do something semi-similar where, for example, in Arknights, you have operators that get released with their modules, and they're often incredibly fucking broken as a result on release, and you have like this kind of constant power creep that happens? Or are they going to release it for the bottom feeders? So I had this explanation last time, which is the power curve. So imagine where the NIKKEs stand in like a cloud of dots, right? Like you have Scarlet, SBS at the very top, like super high when it comes to investment and results. And then you have things like fucking Braid at the bottom, right? And you imagine this little scatter point and you make a line through all of that. That's what we call the power curve in, for example, Magic Gathering and other games. The idea would be that if they bring these unique weapons like they do, for example, in Blue Archive and some other games, is that they fix some parts of the kit that are problematic to push them up closer to that power curve and move the power curve up as a result.
Yeah, it's a never.
In a very ironic way, NIKKE is saved by its own difficulty slider that is called the CP gap. Because if in PvE games, if you push the difficulty curve up, so for example, let's say not difficulty curve, if you push the power curve up, like let's say in World of Warcraft, they buff all classes to accept the broken ones so that all of the power curve moves closer to those broken classes. Well, the bosses get too easy because everything is fucking a joke because everything is broken, right?
Yep.
That's why there's a necessity to nerf in PvE games to some extent. But in NIKKE, we have this custom difficulty slider that kind of allows us to bypass the need to nerf, which is also impossible in Gacha games, by the way, and just buff everything up. So, for example, if everyone is strong, well, nobody is strong, right? You kind of get the idea. So, what I would like to see with the treasure system, and that kind of concerns me, is how they're going to make use of it. Is, for example, let's say bread. Could they make a treasure that increases a little bit her ratios and removes the HP requirement of her abilities? Because that could make her, maybe not become as strong as SBS, but it will bump her up quite significantly because all of a sudden she has a 1800 multiplier on her burst. Just
more
without
useful.
conditionals, right?
Mhm.
Or with less strict conditionals.
Yeah.
The other point is how are they going to implement, but that's the other thing that you guys touched upon, is if they do pilgrims and how predatory it can be. Because, for example, a Blue Archive is a 2% SSR rate. Well, it's 3 stars in that game. And it's 50-50. So it's 1% to get the unit. And to unlock the unique weapons that are not bond related, because they have 2 type of unique weapons, you have to first get that character to 5 stars. And then you have to use the equivalent again in shards of getting from 4 star to 5 star to unlock, the level, 1 level up on that weapon, which requires you to have a lot of copies. We're not talking MLB levels anymore as NIKKE. The difference is that, is it 3% actually? Wasn't it 2%? I would have to double check again because
For what, Ollie? For what?
for Blue Archive, because there are some people
Blue
are saying
Archive?
3%, but
Oh,
that's
true. I didn't see chat.
is it 3% and 1.5%? Okay, whatever. The thing is, you can technically buy some shards in the now commonly known Ligma shop, but the thing is, one, you get those shards, you can get them by farming certain events, but it's not like a huge amount. And most of the blank Ligma shards are from rolling the gacha already, because you get those shards from rolling the gacha. So you guys already see where it becomes a little bit
Yeah.
problematic in terms of predatory.
Mhm.
And it's kind of a similar concern when it comes to NIKKEs. Are they going to add something like, are they going to update the silver mileage shop, for example?
That
To
will
make
solve
dupes
like a lot of the
more
problems
easily
for most people.
man.
Yeah.
Super outdated, that shop. They need to fix that.
They
Agreed.
haven't added anything.
exactly.
It's only Ray and Small White,
Small white. Yeah.
All right, yep.
both are well-paid
Yeah, for
characters. Now that you said the Arcanite system, in the patch note it says that the collectibles will match the properties of that weapon type. So it could be similar to Arcanites, where it's actually based on the weapon type, but until we get the system, we don't
And
know.
Arknights is a can of worm that I would rather, in theory, not have to touch upon, but I will talk about it regardless. The module system is slightly problematic in the sense that, yes, it's 100% free and farmable, except the amount of materials and time you have to sink into that is fucking... you may as well be asking people to pay, because even minimum wage jobs would give you that thing much fucking faster with just the disposable income. It's not very good. It requires you to play like 24/7, and a lot of people, I would assume, would not want to play 24/7 NIKKE just to be able to fucking do one stupid ass treasure.
No,
Oh
like,
hell
which is
yeah,
my-
brother! I
like-
want to play NIKKE all day,
yeah,
bro.
but that's
Dude,
like
fuck yeah.
us
Which is
that,
my
that we can
concern
afford
with
to
the
do it like
solo
a lot of hours. Most people want to play like their 10 minutes a day and then leave the game, right? Maybe watch a stream, but they don't want to play more. We would love to, but
Will they implement it like in Arknights, where you have multiple levels to that treasure? So, for example, in Arknights, you unlock the module, and then afterwards, it will upgrade to other levels, increasing that effect that it has, and making some of them incredibly broken, by the way, by just farming additional materials. So, if NIKKE's track record when it comes to handling shops, material drop rates, and everything is of any reference, I'm very much not looking forward to doing solo raid and the other thing that would drop that.
right
Or
now it's
the
solo
treasure end.
raid and dispatches, which also
And
ties
dispatches.
with spending more, because the dispatches, if free-to-plays get them, it's fine. But wells will be swiping, will be refreshing the dispatches instead for Cordas to actually get the collectibles for the characters, which also
Exactly.
ties to, like Peter was saying, more ways of swiping more. Which
So
is
in
stupid.
theory, you have this very dangerous situation where they have a financial incentive to make it incredibly pay to win and incredibly predatory, or they could do the better way of implementing it, which is to just push that power curve up to catch up to the to the other Nikkes and just solve a little bit of that issue. Because they tried to buff certain Nikkes, like they buffed Soline, Guillotine, and Crow, I think. Right? Like way back
Yeah.
when they changed those things. It wasn't a huge success, but what they're trying to do is essentially that, but instead of having patch notes and thing, is they're just adding it as gameplay, which was the most predictable way of doing it. Sky predicted it, I predicted it. A lot of people that played a lot of the older gachas that have already unique weapon systems in them kind of already saw this coming from.
Yeah, there was like a lot
Months
more
ago.
options for like a power upgrade system. Either you get a new weapon or you get a way of upgrading T9 or Overload into whatever that is,
hmm
which they went with the easy option, which is fine. But yeah, I think overall it could be a good system, like with some good points that it could have. But it's a gacha, and that's like my biggest issue. People putting too much faith into a gacha game at the end of the day, right? Which
Oh
they
boy,
have
I can't wait
no
to see
reason
Diesel break the game.
Diesel meta now. Yo.
Easier.
Like, yes.
Let me see what else is in here. Other than the collectibles and treasures, which like it or dislike it, we'll have to wait, see what's going on.
So my union, for example, had a message about the collectibles, not the treasures, the collectibles. They were saying, save them until you are bosses and everything are announced through dreams, and then either make things. But apparently, they're expecting that there will be elemental damage as one of the effects of the custom module thingies.
Oh
I'm
damn.
very confused about that. Where they got the I kind of know where they're getting their info, but I don't know where the people that are saying that get their own info, because it's still a work in progress, even
Yeah.
within Shift Up.
I mean,
I am
if
not
it's
going to quote
coming,
anybody, but it's not even Shift Up is sure about how to implement it properly.
yeah, if it's coming in a month and a half or 2 months, whatever, it should be already in the works. There is no way they're doing this now until it's released at the end of April.
hmm
We'll see
Oh,
what
it's been in work. It's been in works for a while. There's no way they just announce something like this
Yeah.
and not be at least a few months already
yeah.
100%.
into it. So, this was something they were planning probably more than 3 months ago, if I were to guess.
It would be nice if we got like a pipeline or a fucking timeline from time to time on what they're working on.
Oh yeah, dude.
But-
So many gacha games do like schedule timelines
Yeah.
and crap. of What we want to see in the future. But
Where's our fucking roadmap? Like,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
so hard.
Roadmap.
We have an intern coon who leaks stuff like in like 10 minutes after a patch comes out, but we
On
can't
Twitter.
have someone make an infographic about actual things that are coming in like an hour.
Mhm.
It's I don't know if it's laziness or like they generally just don't care enough to post about it, but like a roadmap would prevent people from caring about leaks. Like,
Yeah.
it's simple as that.
I unironically think that it's more okay. So Shift Up is quite good in some regards, right? They implement quality of life at a pace that is honestly, from my experience, unheard of in gacha games. So
Oh, yeah.
Gold, tell me, how long did it take to implement quality of life in FGO?
Oh man, I'm playing that game for almost a whole decade now. Took at least 7 years just to implement, new mechanics and like, give pity to like the game. So definitely NIKKE is like innovating, and I'm off for it. Like
If
they're
I want to,
doing...
sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good, brother. Go ahead.
No, if I want to take like another example, is Punishing Grey Raven. How long did it take them to make a PC client, right? And it was not even that good initially when they released
Oh, 2 years. 2 years, man. 2 years.
Years.
Is,
So
yeah,
NIKKE,
exactly.
in that regard, are very, very quick to respond to certain types of feedback. Now, we gotta accept that not all of our feedback is the only feedback they receive. So if a lot of people give the feedback that to them, fixing Maximus code is a higher priority than fixing macro with Alice, that's something that we kind of have to live with, because that's the community we're in, right? So
Hey, it is the time of game.
that is our reality. But
Can we
they're
talk
quick to
about
respond to that.
too,
Do you
Sefhi,
wanna-
about
yeah,
my bad, Ollie.
No,
Like,
yeah,
should we
100%.
talk about like the whole macro drama, or
We
is
can
that like another
go-
topic?
No, we can go over that. Let me go up into the patch notes.
People
It
leaving. We
is-
talk about the macro issue.
Are we getting into some drama
Yeah,
today?
like, Barry is just gone.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, anyways,
So
Ollie,
much-
go ahead. Go ahead.
But like, they're generally very quick to respond to most feedback that they receive. Now, when it comes to the anti-cheat measures and everything, I had a very colorful message to Shelma very recently,
Mm.
that he then transferred over to Shift Up. I was like, okay, I'm not I'll just send it there because I don't want to get flamed. But they're very slow to respond to certain things, but they're very quick to respond to others. So my question is, how responsive will they be for the treasures as well?
Hmm.
That
To
is
consider it's a system tied to progression and spending money like the custom models, I'm gonna assume it's slow because
also
it's taking them.
I don't think so. I think okay, so it affects character power directly, right? Um, if they add something to a character and the character is still dog shit, or like you know what happened to Red Hood, they showed something, she ended up underwhelming, and then they were like, oh fuck, and then they fixed it. Like if they did the same thing, let's say they released Red Hood's treasure and it was absolute dog shit, like I think the expectation for certain characters for it to be good is already there. Like Scarlet Black Shadow is already stupidly good, but if a treasure comes out of her, people are going to be expected to make her even better, right?
Yeah,
So I think because it's tied to a character, I think the response for people to cause an uproar is going to be faster. I don't think it's going to be slower. Like rocks, you know, people are complaining about custom modules and stuff being terrible, and I agree with that. Like, there's nothing like I can say to disagree with that. But like, I think because this is just tied to character specific, and people are going to favor their character over other characters, or I guess the community will favor their character over other characters. I think Shift Up will probably see an uproar faster, and will probably want to fix it if it's bad. So
fair enough.
I will
Yeah.
say that they kind of need a balance on that, right? Like you can't just really give like a old unit some busted treasure, right? And then make them catch up to like let's say a current meta B3 in less than like a
no, of
week,
course,
right?
Nah.
yeah,
Like
of
that
course, of
that's
course.
too insane. Like they need to know that if they buff new units, it has to be at a moderate and like sustainable pace, right? That other like the
Mhm.
other older units can catch up to with the treasure. Like if they end up do buffing like over buffing, right? It could lead to, you know, community backlash, you know, power creep, all that amazing
Oh
jazz.
yeah, I have a great
Um,
example of that, and it ties back to King's Raid. But like, there was a character that you had that was locked behind like reputation with them or like favor with them, and it was we called them NPC characters because they were NPCs in the game, right? And this character, until you unlock them, took months to unlock. So that was already an issue that people were calling whale bait because you could swipe for favor items and then give it to them and then get them faster, right? And then the whole idea with unique weapons and everything, it made him so overtuned to the point where they took them 6 months to nerf him before, you know, other characters even looked viable to use in PvE content, especially. And I think like if they take that route with, let's say, you know, Diesel as a good example, like her treasure looks really good just as a base, assuming the numbers are good, right?
Yeah.
Diesel isn't necessarily a meta unit, but like her use can go from being, you know, a niche taunter with good recovery to just being absolutely unkillable and broken, and everyone would want to use her in, you know, most circumstances. So they have to tread pretty lightly with how they buff units with these treasures, and then if in the future they decide to go and add more, for example, like a second one or whatever, and then they decide to go crazy, then I think less people will overlook that and consider it probably a lot better.
Yeah. Can I just say something? Like, I blame a little bit my ADHD on that one because I kind of derailed one of the topics earlier.
Yeah, go ahead.
Part of the reason why I mentioned the speed at which they go for the quality of life and everything is that I have a feeling that in NIKKE, they have very shit PR and everything. That's one thing, but they have a very shit communication when it comes to characters and everything because they're going so fast behind the scenes with everything. So they're just creating one NIKKE after the other, and the pipeline is probably like backed up to insane degrees to the point where they're kind of in a very shitty spot where they cannot really make a realistic roadmap because of how much they're kind of overworking themselves behind the scenes. Because if you guys remember some of the comments from some of the developer notes, they were talking about how stupidly much they worked for Summer Part 1 and Part 2 or something,
oh
and some of
yeah.
the other events, and they said that they were basically almost killing themselves because they are passionate about this and stuff like that, right? So I have a feeling that the reason they're shitty in communications and so on is because they actually don't really have the structure to kind of cope with the game that they're actually trying to make, if that makes
Mm.
sense. You see
Mhm.
that I've seen that while consulting, is that sometimes companies grow and go to a certain point where they cannot keep up with what they're actually trying to do. Now, I'm not going to take the example of financials because that's something that is kind of unrelated, because growing too quickly can actually kill a company financially. Because at some point you strangle yourself through cash flows. But in this case, it's more of an operations type of thing where they just are doing so much at once that they don't have the extra bit to put, into communications proper. I mean, look at how well managed the fucking official content creator thing is.
Oh yeah,
Yo.
shit sucks, dude. I'll be real.
Jimmy, bro. I still
You'd
haven't
be amazed by
gotten
so many companies are like that, Psycho.
a
You'd be
single
actually amazed
mail
with how
with
many
my
companies.
gems.
Mhm.
It's not that they don't have a contingency, it's that they're doing so much at once because they're growing so quickly. It's not exactly greed. That's not the correct word that I would use, but it's like they see the growth and they see the numbers and they're like, shit, this is amazing. And they try to do more and then more. And you see that a lot with small businesses. So there was like this small fruit juice business that I consulted a long time ago. Long time ago, a few years ago. And they were like selling a lot and they were growing a lot. And at some point, because of the pace at which they were paying the people that gave them the fruit and the pace at which they were receiving the payments from the supermarkets and everything, and they were growing so quickly, they almost killed themselves through just pure cash flows because they were growing so quickly. And just through pure cash flows, almost killed themselves. Now, like I said, this is not a financial situation in the case of
Yep.
Shift Up, but it's an operational type of issue. But it's surprisingly common in the business world to see these type of things. Gotta remember, Shift Up was pretty fucking tiny company before NIKKE
Yeah,
blew
they
up. They only
were
had like
Destiny Child. They were working on Stellar Blade with the money from Sony, and they were developing probably NIKKE with the money from Destiny Child, nothing else.
Yep, pretty much. And the investments from both Kakao Games and Tencent and some other
Fucking
Korean
Tencent
companies.
investment, like
But yeah,
like usual. The Tencent investment drama that was stupid. I'm sorry for spreading misinformation, guys. I love you. But that's said about the treasures, though, so we don't spend like too much on that. Do you guys want to talk about the uh, which is even worse, but rocket launchers and snipers, the the changes to the birth generation, the macro drama we had last year, and everything in there? Because I know for
Oh,
me, I don't care.
It's
I'm not an endgame player. I couldn't care less, but I know all of you do push content
so
and do that.
the issue with the whole macro argument, right? The entire issue with that is it's casual players arguing with players who are endgame that utilize it or don't utilize it. People don't play the game enough to understand why it's utilized to begin with for some people and why it is a problem in endgame content. They just think like macro equals cheat. You can hit top because you use macro. Instant
Yeah.
number one. Kira's a macro player. I'm a macro player because I'm in top 50. Everybody in top 50 uses macro, right? Or you're bad. Or like
you know
you
what the
have,
funny
you
part
know,
is, Mr. Pyrie? Let me interrupt you. It's so bad that nowadays, in order to stay safe, you have to fucking macro, bro. If you,
dude.
it's pretty bad. Yeah.
I was in Union raids. We lost 2 placements because I got flagged twice on a boss run. It kicked me out 2 times because it was flagging me for macro.
Yeah.
It'll flag you for like inconsistent clicks that are relatively the same CPS than if you just run I think it's like 220-20 delay, and it will never flag you. So the thing that I have an issue with is like people don't look into the problem just at its core. We're not saying we're not saying macros are great, everybody should use macros. There's a
No.
fundamental issue with the game, which is why I made that whole video outlining what Kira posted about on the main Discord. Because even then, people don't read. People commented like, I saw the title. I just commented, "L, you're a cheater. Get good." I'm just like, dude, what the just watch. Just if you're gonna get into an argument, just look at the flat facts about it, and just realize that we're not pushing for you to use macro. We're saying that it's a broken system to begin with at its
Yep.
core, and Shift
Exactly.
Up can make it so that manual play can loosely emulate what you're achieving with the macro. We have sent them multiple ideas. Like we sent it to Zyama on the Discord. It hasn't gone anywhere. Talk about like things that don't get addressed. We have been doing this for months behind the scenes, at least for the NA top community. We've been trying to get them to address it. And granted, they did address it in this
The
patch
notes, yeah.
notes, but that doesn't fix anything.
Yeah.
Like you're still gonna manual play. You can still hit your one mouse button and go click, 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 pew, 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 and it doesn't fix it. We thought for a while that they removed the anti-flag or the flag system in the game, but then we just started getting random flagged again, just randomly. So we don't know if they re-implemented it. Like you guys are more versed than I am with all that programming aspect stuff, but I don't know what exactly is triggering it at this point. I got flagged with Alice, with Biscuit. I've been flagged before with Red Hood.
Yep.
I've been flagged with Tia. Like any unit that I can quick shot, I've been flagged on. And it's
like
like
super random. It's awful.
it's really random. But I think in order for them to really fix the issue of like this whole macro argument in the game is to just revamp. They're kind of going in the right direction right now. We suggested that they just revamp burst gauge generation. So it's not full charge shots. It's just equivalent throughout the entire way. Like units don't have to full charge if you're not manualing them. You know, you can just make it so that it can emulate that type of repeated play if you're not piloting the unit. And that'll help a lot of boomer people. Like I'm boomer hands sometimes when it comes to using Alice. I don't want to fucking like click like that all the time.
Yeah, I don't want to sit there and spam Alice for 3 fucking hours just get a top ranking, dude. Hell no.
Yeah, and it's another
Exactly.
thing is people have an issue with it because if you're a top hard mode pusher, you see a lot of people utilizing Red Hood Alice. It's like Red Hood tech with Alice is highly utilized. Like at least where I'm
Died. Oh, he's back.
Oh, what the fuck?
oh my god, he died.
There he is.
Right,
What
right.
up?
Sorry for the interruption for
But
2 seconds.
You're good.
I don't
Come
know.
back.
I don't know where you guys are like in hard mode progression, but in
Yeah.
chapter 24, it's literally it's all Red Hood Tech Alice, Red Hood Tech Alice, Red Hood Tech Alice. You
Yeah,
just see
no,
that all on the top.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
me and
state
Ollie
of
use it.
them
Yeah.
it's only
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So, like, I get why people are upset because it is a way that you're mimicking manual play, right? It is an unfair advantage, but at the same time, shift up reduce the millisecond delay by 10 and they're fine. Like they never get flagged. I know people who use macro from like the beginning of the PC client coming out, they've never been flagged for it. A lot of my union members are like casual players that are legit. They just click and they get flagged.
Pause, brother.
Yeah.
Sefhi, restart your stream.
I think
His shit died,
we
man.
started already.
Oh, did you
Yeah, his
die?
shit died.
Yeah, no,
he died.
I think we
He
good. I
died.
think we good.
Okay, we
Oh,
good?
refresh your
Yeah,
page.
yeah, yeah.
Refresh your page. Well,
Yeah. It might be
You
me.
just refresh the page, yeah.
I don't know
Yeah, we
why
back, we
I
back.
suddenly
we
died
back,
for 2
boys, we back.
seconds there.
but no, I personally have a gripe with the macro issue because I had 2 content creators literally come at me in the main cord because I made that Reddit post in that video. And I was like,
I could name and
Please,
shame if I
please.
wanted to. I don't give a shit.
oh, I could name both of them if I wanted to, but I'm not gonna do that. But I guess
One
I
of
have an
them's
issue with
gone.
the
I
fact
mean,
that-
fuck, go ahead.
cool. But I had an
Yeah.
issue that I was coming from a neutral standpoint, just giving facts on what I feel at, as far as being a top end player, and their thing was basically you're promoting cheating, and I was like, I made a whole 10-minute video. Just please watch it. Like,
Yeah.
please watch it. Like, it's like Sefhi's opinion with the dev notes. Like, you're entitled to have your own opinion, but if there is a fundamental issue with it, at least acknowledge that there is a problem with the game rather than just,
Yeah.
macro equals bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is that with people like them, even a TikTok short might be a little bit too long.
Wait, what the fuck's going on?
Oh, there he is. Welcome back.
I'm
The
taking
stream
my
is good.
designated
I don't know why
5-minute
I'm getting a
bathroom break.
control. Did I left anything on my code that's fucking me? Okay, let me remove my bot
Just
here for a
remove the
second.
Python thing.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
gonna
just
remove my
close it
bot.
off.
Yeah.
Close it off. Oh, 07 Sefhi?
I'm here. I'm
Yeah,
here.
07.
Oh, no, there he is.
I just
Again,
don't
they
know
just-
what the fuck's going on. No, and the stream is good. I just don't know what the fuck is reconnecting to Discord.
Mm.
You're using a VPN. That's probably why. Because you use a VPN, you have Discord at the same time. It's gonna like cancel you
No,
and
no, no.
whatnot.
The internet is good. I get like a 1 GB connection.
Oh, okay.
I mean, wait, wait, Pyre is gone.
Yeah, he's going to do something real quick. 5 minutes. Give him 5 minutes.
Right?
Yeah, no. It's just
Yeah.
that I don't think if I show, I don't know if I showed him or you guys one of the more recent anti-cheating things that just make me question how Shift Up does anti-cheating in general.
Not yet. No.
Because I had some very colorful words for Shift Up and Xiaoma in the creators tab for it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about co-op rankings. Nobody gives a shit about that.
No.
What really made me question is how do they determine what is a cheated run or not, and how does that bleed into solo raid, right?
Oh.
Because with what's it called? With a few members of the union that I'm in, we decided just for shits and giggles, we're gonna do the out of 4 SBS tactic in
Sculptor.
co-op.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the AFK Sculptor. And they basically got a stupidly high rank because Sculptor is better managed if you let the AI do it, right?
Yep.
So you had this situation where if you alt F4, you are not part of the ranking of that run because you're gone. So you have 3 people that are sitting at like top 30 or something with a nice score, and the next day they received a little mail in the game saying like, because you used, oh hold on, let me actually just read you exactly what that mail said, just so you guys have some good fun about it.
Oh, you did
Yes.
actually show me this, Ollie. I remember
Yeah.
this.
I don't know
Yeah,
if Pyre knows about this one though.
No,
Your
you didn't
high
show 'em.
score is invalid due to your participation with other commanders who use prohibited programs during the coordinated operation. The invalid records will be removed. Your high score will change to the best of the remaining records you hold.
I mean,
Keep in mind, this
it's
is made
co-op,
to
yeah.
protect runs from people that get disconnected accidentally.
No. Yeah. I have an issue with that because they're basically insinuating that because one person cheated the run, it's not valid, right? This goes into like a whole different diatribe of they're gonna remove people from the rankings, like even for campaign clears, if you did it with macro. But when you had an Alice bug that made everything one-shottable, all that's still valid.
Oh
When
yeah,
you
let
had
me
the
tell you
Snow
a story
White-
about that, Ollie.
when you had when you had the Snow White bug,
No,
I
you're
don't
good.
even know if you guys know about this. You could make Dorothy's shield glitch out to where Snow White's charge killed anything in one shot.
Oh,
if
it's
you
still
timed
there,
it
by the way.
Oh
perfectly.
yeah.
Oh, it's
No,
still there.
they haven't removed it. Like
Yeah, it's
they
still there.
haven't patched it.
They
So my
are
thing is like, if
assessing
you're
the
gonna
book.
punish macros, then like, why don't you address all the other? I get that scraping is difficult for them to do with campaign clears, but it's something that was just wrong with their system in general. Can they roll
Oh.
back? Probably not. But like, I don't get this whole thing of like people getting false banned and then they lose all their progress in terms of like their history of clears. Because some
What
people are cheating, is sure, but
What made me question is how does this bleed, for example, into soul rate? Because nobody gives a shit about co-op, right? But how do they determine that our run was a cheated run? Because it wasn't. We only use systems that are implemented to protect players when there are disconnects. And I don't know how many of you in chat or even here are like a little bit knowledgeable about all of the stuff when it comes to games detecting disconnects and all of that stuff. But how would they know that we force closed our game when all we did was manually crash it? Because a manual crash is not all that different from a regular crash. So if they cannot detect that, how did they determine that we were cheating?
They can.
Is it because they looked at the rankings and they saw 3 people alone instead of 5 people in the rankings?
No,
And then when
because
they saw that, they
it's
removed them from the
still
rankings?
your UID in there. Even if you alt F4, they see your ranking. It's because the anti-cheat system
Why were
they
they
use
removed?
is shit. The anti-cheat, it's like what? Which one it is? Is anti-cheat it's called? I think it's trash. It's literally trash.
That's my point, is that how do they detect what is a cheated run and what isn't?
That they can.
Because our run was technically not cheated. It was
That-
simply 2 people disconnecting.
They
That's
can.
all it was.
That is the same reason as to why in solo raid, the only hackers they remove is the top 50. Because it's the ones they can see. You can be hacking and you can keep yourself in the 1% and you're not going to be removed. Because they don't see those top 50 ones.
That actually a thing?
Yeah.
Damn.
I
Probably
mean,
a thing, yeah.
we've had that issue in NA solo raids, like the early ones. We had like 3 hackers on the leaderboard
yeah.
that were
Yeah,
level
it's-
fucking 60,
Same
and they
with
were hitting
Raw.
Kira numbers of damage, and they didn't get banned
Yeah,
until
14 billion damage. Yup, totally legit.
Yeah,
That
but
was
the
level
problem is
1
that those
pro.
are visible and stupid. Now
Oh, yeah,
think
yeah,
about
yeah.
the ones that are
Yeah.
not visible. That's my question. That makes me question because, for example, I talked with Pyro when the whole macro drama was happening, right? Because I made an entire document trying to figure out what was triggering the anti-cheat. Because I still refuse to believe to this day that it's only inputs. Otherwise, I
It's
should
not.
have gotten flagged a long time ago, right? Now, what we discovered is that, for example, Razor people or G-Hub people have a much higher incident in getting flagged. A much higher incident rate of getting flagged for the false flags. And personally, so I started off testing all of that by trying to replicate Pyre's inputs or other people's inputs, right? Going 4.5 CPS. And even for the ones that said that they click too quickly, okay, I want all the way to 10 CPS, right? Just spamming my mouse to the point where it's probably damaged as a result. Didn't get flagged. So I was like, okay, fuck this. I'm going to make macros, because the fact that I don't use macros don't mean that I don't know how to make them. And doesn't mean that I don't know how to make them also so that ShiftUp doesn't detect them. I just refuse to use them. Now, I was like, okay, fuck it. I'll do macros. I did a 200/20. I just let it run 15 minutes. I didn't get flagged. I just
It doesn't
went,
flag
grab a
them,
cup
yeah.
of coffee, made myself a toast, and I just let the thing running for 15 minutes. 200/20, that's almost near perfect. I even tried 190/20, but because my frame rate is not consistent, sometimes the shots would glitch out. And I was like, okay, well, let's do 200/20, which is near perfect Alice macro play. I just let it running for 15 minutes. I went, made myself a toast, grabbed coffee, etc. Didn't get flagged. Now, once I started putting it into gameplay, it took it half an hour to flag me once, and I got banned for 1 minute. Some people may remember the legendary 1 minute ban that I got when I was doing this from back then.
Yeah, I got like, I think, like 1 day ban as
What
well.
was really stupid is that at 200/20, if I alternated manual play and macro play, it never detected me. For example, with my mouse
So-
that I have.
I can tell you how, because I know top players at macro. What they do is when they're reloading, they turn the macro off, then they turn the macro back on when they're done reloading. It never flags them.
Yeah.
Because it's inconsistent inputs. That's all. That's literally all you have to do. It's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So it's. I think a lot of the commonality too was like people were running, what is it, Razer Synapse in the background when they got flagged. Like
Yeah,
they
there
were
was
doing
that too.
manual play. Yeah, and people were getting kicked out for that. I know top players that have used macros from the beginning, and they're just like, oh, we just changed it by 10. It's fine. We're still playing now, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I know a bunch of people from the union that is nicknamed Camel Toe, and from other unions similar that are, I won't name them, but I can just name the union because those are like rank 1 unions, and they use macros. And it's like, yeah, well, we just spent 15 minutes in burner accounts just testing what ranges are good, and it's not very difficult. Even I can make macros that are not detectable by ShiftUp. It's
And that
just
I
a
guess
matter
that
of
goes
spending some
back
time doing
to
it.
that goes back to the point of like there are these top people too that don't like the fact that this macro gameplay is allowed because it's not beneficial to the whole player base.
Yep.
Like there are people who are legitimately good at Alice gameplay that are getting flagged and kicked out. Like one of my union members was fighting Nihilister on hard 20, got booted out twice. Like Kanto was fighting it on 410, he got kicked out 3 times before it
Mhm.
cleared because of the
I
flagging.
I also had a community members of mine too probably have the lowest clear in all of NA for him to just get kicked off the leaderboard because he manualed Alice too hard. There you go.
Oh, I know who you're talking. Yeah.
I know who you're
Fucking
talking about.
stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, rest in peace. Yeah, he asked me to do another video, and I was like, if it blows up again, whatever. Like, fine, can do it again. But I guess that goes back to the whole thing of like ShiftUp addressing certain things that are more beneficial to just like, I guess I don't want to say it's just for them to make money, but it really feels like it's just for them to make money. You know, because the macro thing doesn't affect them. It doesn't affect anything. Our biggest gripe was like, if they're banning all these macro players and they just like nerf rocket launcher sniper rifles, then why did they start releasing rock packs on the same time they started releasing the Alice banner? Why was the Alice banner a thing?
Oh, the Alice banner
You know?
was never a great thing. That's something that a lot of people have this conspiracy theory. I'll tell you why the Alice banner happened. Because, you know, I've been official for quite some time now. They made it for Easter. The bunny of Easter.
That's
Yeah,
that's
I told
so-
everyone that.
The timing
I
is, the timing is so bad.
I don't think you need to be a content
Nah.
creator to know that.
Oh, we
Like,
could all
Yeah,
tell,
but
yeah.
a lot of
Like-
people are saying like rocket banners and everything. The problem is that ShiftUp is super slow to notice certain things.
oh, 100%.
Because
yeah.
we were memeing about the whole abnormal thing. We have people that have spreadsheets that have proven, you know, that how non-beneficial it is to have them in the box. In SI, it doesn't matter. We have other spreadsheets that prove that in SI, abnormal doesn't matter. Whenever you get an abnormal piece in special interception outside of the boxes, it just meant that you were going to get a tier 9 blank piece of gear instead if abnormal didn't exist. That's all it means, which is an issue in itself, but we're not going to go into that. Now, we have people that have spreadsheets about, you know, the whole box situation, and ShiftUp is saying like, oh yeah, we're going to look into it because we're not too sure. It's like,
we're
They're
gonna
really slow at noticing certain things.
assess the situation with that. But I don't think that's
Yeah.
being slow. I mean, you don't need like when did they release manufacturer ARM boxes last year? You don't need 6 months, 8 months to know it's a problem. That's not an issue of being slow. That's an issue I think more time like Pirri says of why would they fix it when they are selling the manufacturer boxes? Like it doesn't benefit them because people will keep grinding or buying them.
Yeah.
If you can pay for to remove that inconvenience, why would they fix those rates?
Yeah, I just feel like sometimes people are putting nefarious things. It's like I don't remember the name of this razor, but it's don't attribute malice to something that can be just equally attributed to incompetence. Now, incompetence might be a little bit of a strong word, but I talked earlier about how certain companies, when they grow very quickly, and in the case of ShiftUp, might struggle a little bit with some areas because of how disturbed their pipeline is as a result of that growth.
Mhm.
Right. So you could call it just a case of sharing competence. Like we don't need to attribute malice to everything. That's the kind of point that I wanted to
We
make on that
don't
front.
need to, but when we're talking about like gacha companies themselves, it's like it's harder to not attribute it to just making more money. But yeah, I agree. Let me check the rest of this here. Not the
Sorry if I
assessment.
interrupted anybody.
No, keep going, keep
I'm
going.
a fucking idiot.
All right, so we talk about the treasures. We talk about the collectibles and the assessment of abnormal.
Fucking
Not
hell.
as I started, I think we'll agree that cosmetics are a good thing. We don't care, right? Like more
Oh, yeah.
cosmetics.
Yeah,
right?
it's good.
Okay.
It's
Give
fine.
more.
Cosmetics are fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give more.
Don't
Mhm.
Why not?
baffle by shifters.
Give me a reason to brag my whale status, bro. All good.
Yeah, bro.
You know, like
You don't got all tier 3 frames. Get out my guild. XDD.
yeah, that's how we recruit now.
Yep.
Looking for
Easy.
top 20 players only.
Oh no, I DM'd Sefhi a screenshot of something that should be every union's recruitment filter.
Wait, what did you
But
send me? I don't
let me
remember.
just. I sent it to you a while back, but I also sent you the actual game itself.
Oh, we could
Let
talk
me
a
just
little
find
bit
it.
if you guys want about the overclock functionality in terms of materials, how much we're getting, and if it feels good or a good step in the right direction or not.
Here, this should be the filter for any union leader.
I would
Like
say
instead
that.
of putting things.
Yeah, go on, Ollie. No. You
No,
gotta
I
go.
just
Go.
put it in the chat.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Scarrow
So what I
says,
was saying.
sorry, Gold. Scarrow says this
Oh, what's
is
up?
the greatest meeting of totally free-to-play players ever.
I mean, I am fucking free to play.
I am free to play. I
Yeah,
stopped
bro.
swiping. What do you
What are you
mean?
talking about, dude?
Go ahead. Sorry.
I hit
Peter.
Sync 401. I stopped swiping.
XDD. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, no, like if they revamp Overclock, just I don't know, make it more frequent, you know, add more like rewards to like the higher levels, because you know how like we went all the way to like 50, right? Make it to where like the later levels and like after 20 gets like some rewards as well, right? Because like is like do it like try harding for like anything plus 20 kind of felt useless. You know what I mean? It was just more of like yeah, I'm a big ass whale and I can do it, you know, just a little flex. So it kind of felt useless in that regard is how I feel.
And the fact that it was not synchro, to the level was a little bit bad. What I also
Mhm.
despise is the fact that they're implying that it's going to be seasonal, meaning that we're going to have
Yeah.
another thing that is seasonal on top of solo raid, union raid, and whatever other shit they pull out of their ass.
To
Which
be fair,
is-
they said
and
it's
if
gonna be
they
like
add
4 weeks.
cosmetic stuff?
So
It's 4
every month,
weeks,
right?
but
Yeah.
two.
It's 2
but- Yeah, it's
rotations.
4 weeks, but 2 rotations.
Mhm.
So it
Yeah.
resets every 2 weeks, but it's a 4-week season season. The season only is relevant to people who are going for
The leaderboard.
frames and whatnot.
the leaderboard. But
Yep.
the leaderboard is nothing, right? So if you're the type of person that just likes hitting the stage 50 for fun and I don't know, I guess doing it fastest or whatever. I don't know what their leaderboard is going to be based on, but because all the points are the same, right? If everyone does stage 50, they all get the same amount of points. So I guess it's whoever does it first.
Probably clear time. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I would assume it's clear time, but yeah, like there's really zero reason outside of we want free stuff every 2 weeks. Then cool. Like I personally don't care all that much. I think the rewards for what they were giving were okay enough, like for how simple and like for us at
I-
least it would be.
Valid.
So
Yeah. I also feel like it's a situation where if we start giving rewards higher up, it's going to cause kind of like a trickle down effect where the people that can place higher because they're more invested or like they will or whatever can get more resources, and it leaves like the people that only clear at 20 bottlenecked at 20
Yep.
for their
Mhm.
resources. So I feel
Okay.
like it's fine being capped out at 20. Everybody can get it. Like there are people that are way lower sync than I am that have cleared
Oh yeah.
the entirety of it. So it's just good overall for progression being locked out at that point. Because then
Okay.
we start getting to the point of like it's unfair if I can clear like 50 and I get double the rewards, and somebody that can clear 25 only gets like half of that. It's just feeding the players that are whales, which is a big gripe with some people. So I
Okay.
feel like it's fine just being locked out where it is right now. Maybe they could give more rewards, but just flatline it so that it's equal to everyone, because it's overall achievable right now to hit level 20 to get your full rewards. There was no issue with anybody in my union for it, and we have like
No doubt.
ranging sync levels. Yeah.
Yep.
There's like 220s that were clearing it, 200s that were clearing it with some time, but it's doable. It is doable.
Yep.
I just think that if they do rework anything in there, just maybe changing out a few things that were more difficult for people to do. Like for me, Will was fun, but like Will is difficult for some people. I don't know if they're just gonna
Mhm.
remove that and change it. I had a fun time, but that's because again, like I spent an absorbent amount of money in this game, so I have the resources to match whatever they threw at us. But I'm fine with them just revamping it to make it a bit easier for the lower levels to even synced up get the full rewards, because that's the main
Okay.
goal of it, is like the distribution of resources for that.
Yeah.
It would be
My
nice
concern
even
was in the
for
fact that they
the
were implying that they were going to put cosmetic titles and stuff like that tied to high clearances. And if they make it like that and it's not synchronized to the level, because in, for example, Union Raid, it's kind of quote unquote fine because you get carried by other people that are like significantly more whale than you. Solo Raid, it's fine because you're level synced. So technically, it's more a matter of OL skill investments and whatnot. So it really doesn't matter. But for Overclock, it's capped at 400. And I can tell you that not a lot of people are hit level 400.
Yep,
So if they
I'm not-
put cosmetics and stuff and the thing is tuned around you being near level 400 for the like absolute level 50 clear, right? The maximum difficulty clear, and it's seasonal instead of letting people build towards it, we're going to have a problem. Because a lot of people love the cosmetics. That's why people try to at least get top 1% in solo raid or 3% now, and stuff like that, right?
Yep.
And if they add a lot of more of these cosmetics, well, a lot of people are going to want them because either there's a prestige, there's even people that are willing to pay to get on the rankings in solo raid for prestige and other stuff.
Oh, we can
And
talk about that if you guys want to.
but what's it called? The main point is that if they make it seasonal and they make it so difficult to achieve, and there's like these cosmetic that are kind of like a form of prestige tied to them, it's gonna be a lot of
Mhm.
issues. Not
Yeah,
only
I don't
does it
know
make the game more predatory, but it also just will make the player base more pissed off and burn out faster because you have
Yeah.
more seasonal stuff on top of the already seasonal
What's
stuff
already
we
there.
have.
Yeah,
Yep.
my issue is that I don't know where Shift Up's kind of like trying to go. They opened the entire dev blog with we're trying to reduce the stress of players playing the game,
Yeah.
right? Like, and I
Oh,
would
yeah.
assume they meant playtime and difficulty of content and all that stuff. So like, I'm kind of glad they're not adding rewards to the higher difficulties of Overclock, because then they're contradicting everything they opened with, right? Their whole idea was let's reduce player stress, let's have them enjoy the game, and I think the way they're doing Overclock now is fine, but then they're still releasing, content that is meant to be difficult, to like harder solo raids and all that stuff, even though, again, they're trying to make it easier for the general player base to hit higher rankings for the rewards and all that stuff. So I don't know if they're trying to combat FOMO or if they're trying to create it. But their first statement is generally saying, hey, let's reduce FOMO and have the player base enjoy the game more. So I'm glad they're keeping Overclock as it is. I hope that it gives good rewards still and they didn't change anything about that. But I also hope that they keep the fact that they're trying to reduce player stress as like their primary goal while maintaining the fun that everyone of us is having with the game.
To their defense, though, they have been making solo raids to be more skill dependent. Because some of the OGs will remember good old Mother Whale, good
Oh,
old OG
That is
Blacksmith.
true.
Fuck
Yeah.
no.
Do you guys
Oh, man.
remember the RNG
OG
fiesta of
Blacksmith.
OG Blacksmith?
Yeah.
OG
Oh, yeah.
Blacksmith
I
was
didn't deal with that. I was like, nah, I refuse
160
to.
runs,
I refuse
brother.
to.
Just for a decent run. That's how many times
know
I had to
how-
reset.
You know how nice it was when we got Cumsmith and it was like, oh, it's gonna target this specific, and I was like, cool, I know who it's targeting. Awesome. I know who it's
Exactly.
gonna hit. I was playing RNG Fest with bunnies on that blacksmith run just to see Indomitable proc and that unit not die. That's really what I went for when I was doing those, but I don't know. The whole solar ray thing's been really great.
Tentacles and laser boys, lasers. It's Jover, right? Remember?
Yeah, like
I actually
harvester,
wanna
blacksmith, and so on. It's like,
I saw
but you
Scaro put something in the chat about not all cosmetics being available for everyone. I feel like base cosmetics should be available for people, like how Solo Rates has a 3%. If there's like a baseline for it for Overclock, because people are collectors in the game, right? They're gonna bitch if they can't get like a certain cosmetic. So that's why like the top 3% frame is fine because people can achieve it if you're relatively built in the game. I don't know how bad it would be if they implemented like a top 50 solo raid frame, how much people wouldn't like that, or like an overclock frame. I just think it will cause more like discourse with people not viewing, whales in that light of like, oh, they're gonna get everything. They can get all those cosmetics. So I'm fine with it being at 3% for now. And if it's like an overall clear.
Yeah, agreed.
The problem I have with Overclock, right, is that Overclock, the main wall that people will face when trying to go for cosmetic runs and, to do high push is synchro level. That's literally the main wall that people will be hitting. In solo raid, it's, a matter of skill investments and all of that stuff. That stuff you can kind of build it significantly faster than you build a fucking synchro level 400 account. Like, how many here are sync level 400? Because I am not.
400?
Right.
It's Pirri.
XDD, the only whale in this chat, bro.
Yeah, exactly. So if the thing is tuned around people being closer to, sync level 400, all of the people that are like, I don't know, sync level 200 and something, in solo raid, they can kind of scrape by because they're synced up and they already have, at least one viable team to play solo raid and score top 3%. The problem with Overclock is that if it's seasonal, even 4 weeks is not even close to enough to get a lot of people that could do it skill-wise because they do it in solo raid, for example, to get that frame. Like, I agree, not all cosmetics should be for everyone. I'm not talking here about participation trophies. Fuck that. Like, you earn your shit and you get it. The problem is Overclock is a little bit unfair in that regard if they implement those cosmetics, right?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think all cosmetics should be available for everyone, but for example, in solo raid, I believe the last frame should be available to everyone that gets to
Tier
challenge.
1, right? Yeah.
Like,
Agreed.
not if you get to 30%, because there is a lot of
the
newer
10%
players in
one,
there.
right?
The
Or the 10 or 30%.
30,
Tier
yeah.
one.
I think that should be able to
Yeah.
like everyone in there.
Yeah, I think that'd be fine. I think giving the tier 1 border is totally okay. Like,
Agreed.
I think if you get the tier 2 and tier 3, like, it's because you tried to get there.
Alright, yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
you've been
Yeah.
playing for longer. But newer players might be able to reach challenge, but then get nothing. It's like you
I think-
participate
yeah.
for nothing.
Yeah, I think the tier 1 should go to everyone, for sure. If you can get the challenge, or at least clear stage
1
7
through
at some
7.
point, I think you should get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you should 100% get it.
At
For
least to
sure.
show that you participated in
Yeah,
the solo
exactly.
raid, because it's cool
Because-
to remember.
Yeah, exactly.
If I was a newer
nothing
player
like
on a new account, like a low-level account, and I was able to get it, and I saw that I got it, I'd be happy. Like, who wouldn't be
Yeah.
happy getting something like that? Like,
Yeah.
of course. For sure.
100%. That's it about the cosmetics, though. If you guys want to talk a little bit about this, since you
Oh,
mentioned it
sure.
already. Do you guys want to talk about the union rates? And,
that's
Union
no,
rates.
sorry,
$1.
not even. Well, we can take a both union rate and
Union
solo
rate
rates.
sucks ass, man.
And
Union rate is so
Union-
bad.
Okay. I'll start by saying that I'm not even like relatively close to, like Ali's rank. In union raids, we're like rank 24.
That's
We're hitting burnout already with this whole like it's basically a rat race. It's a rat race to sync levels.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's literally like I'm looking at the other people that are above us, and we're over synced by like 20 plus sync levels, and it's just like, oh, cool. We're pinned up against a unit that has like 5 440s, like 4 400s. They can just hit faster. It literally is like a lot of pre-planning, and to some degree, it stresses out the union members because not all of my union
100%.
is competitive,
I mean,
right?
have
We
you
have,
both
like-
seen my streams? 8 fucking
Bro,
hours.
have you seen my spreadsheet that my freaking union made? Dude, it's like a fucking job on the side. It's
Cleared in
Exactly.
127.
Gotta clock in, boys. Make sure you fill out your shit. Clock in.
and
Wake up.
I think the thing
big.
that really sucks is like you get rewarded
Yeah.
for clearing faster because you end sooner, but the stress that goes into planning that up
100%.
until that point, that's why Sky's not competitive anymore. Like I
Why
don't blame
would he?
him.
Like, he plays a lot of gachas. He has to deal with 3 guilds. What the fuck will he be doing
Yeah.
on top of that? Like, okay, let's plan this for 30 fucking hours before the raid.
He's
I
already working
also
like a full-time job playing gachas. Like he doesn't
Yeah,
need the
no,
extra stuff.
he has a full-time job, and he
Yeah.
he does
Yeah,
so he
and
does
then he's
both.
playing it. Yeah, he doesn't need it.
Yeah, so
but
one thing I will say, and this might be like whatever controversial. I don't know if like global's the same, but in NA, like people wait for top unions to explode and then just poach everybody
Oh, we
Ah,
did.
that are in those.
it
top
already
unions.
happened. It already
I-
happened.
I
I
think
think that already
Carnage.
happened. BK
Carnage
Crow
happened.
got touched. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't like the union drama. I don't like union drama. I don't like all of this stuff when you hit top 50 about people approaching you to blow up your union to join an alliance because they can't recruit people on their own, and they'll do it every season. I've had like consistent people try to be poached from Arc Flash for 4 seasons in a row by the same dude, and I'm just like, bro, we're not gonna join you. Like I'm here with a group of friends to try and push. I don't give a shit about going into the top 10.
Mhm.
I think it's
And-
too
and
much
you-
work.
And here's the
for
thing,
not
right?
enough reward.
Let's address this as well. The fucking rewards are dog garbage.
Rewards are crap,
All of it.
honestly.
6.7.
Load of crap rewards, man. Like,
LMFAO.
Well, Ali, you're what? You're like rank 3, right? You guys rank 2 or 3?
6,700 for rank 3. I literally got the mail today.
yep.
Yeah,
I
I think
feel
it was sent
like-
out to everyone today. Yeah.
Yeah.
What they should do is, I get like it's a rat race, right? We all finished it. I'm pretty sure like day 1 clear is pretty achievable if you've been playing day 1. You make a union with a bunch of day 1 players, you can probably do it. Like
Oh,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
super,
Absolutely.
it's not super comp.
Easily. Yeah.
But
In parity of
I
top
think-
50 in global is that.
what
is
what
day
what
1.
should be done to like do something past level 10? Because if they just increase the levels, then we're just running longer. That's all it is.
Yes. It's gonna
We're
be
just
a rat
running
race just for
longer.
longer.
Make an
Yeah,
EX
it's just-
stage where you hit like 4 different bosses or something, or one boss for each element weakness or something, and then you try to score the highest possible on each of them.
Challenge
And
mode. There you go. Union raid
Just
challenge.
something
mode.
that has rewards, like rewards that aren't going to be so broken where it's like number 1 union gets like a stupid push or whatever. I honestly don't care if they do. Union chips are kind of useless because you can get level cubes passively in solo raids anyway. It's not that big of a deal.
Now listen. If they gave us gems as the reward for UR, I would actually take it more seriously.
I think that would just
You
cause
are-
more burnout for players.
That would
though.
cause more
'Cause then,
burn- yeah.
because
Yeah,
then
fair.
unions would want to be more competitive, and then every union below, let's say at least in NA, like probably below top 40, like all of our unions are probably gonna just not want to do it. Like in like a few months from now. Like yes, gems are great, and everyone in the union could get like a 2,000 gems or whatever, how much you get for finishing top 30 or whatever. But
yeah.
I think it's just gonna cause more stress for people. I don't think that's a
Uh,
solution.
I'm gonna say something that's gonna trigger a lot of people. Gem
on.
rewards are not gonna be very appealing for a lot of the top 3 population.
They're just
gems
for
for a lot
the
of them
wealth,
is just
yeah.
literally
No, of course
put
not.
on the
yeah,
red.
it's not
No,
good
of
for
course
them, but
not.
it's good for
Yeah,
like
yeah, of course
the
not.
more lower guilds and shit. That
It's literal
don't.
cobbles in the road
yeah.
for them.
If
Yeah.
I can interject, because Scaro put another comment about how they're planning getting a list of subjective comps. People that are hitting like, was Sky the lowest sync in top 10? I think he was, right? So, bro,
Yeah.
planning like that is like getting your entire union to build 3 dedicated teams. You're tracking OLs, you're tracking what they have on OLs, and putting them on hits accordingly to whatever they can hit. It's a lot of pre-planning, and it's like it becomes more
Lot.
stressful. We're gonna do this next union raid. It's gonna come more stressful when you're overlap hitting and quitting out in a minute and a half. That is so much stress. If your union doesn't have the sync levels to back it, because one fuck up with math and you just ruin the boss run,
Exactly.
and that's another attack. So casual unions are fine. Like you can be casual and be top 50, no problem. Top 50 is low key a joke until you hit like
It's a
top
joke.
20.
Yeah. Like,
Agreed.
like
Like,
I'm in the same union as Scarrow is, and
Oh, you're in
Our-
Zoya?
our-
Can we poach you?
You don't want
The
to
Yeah,
poaching
yeah,
You know,
life.
bro,
we're-
I've
we're
tried
both-
to
we're
ask
both in
Scar in the
Zoya.
past too. He's also said
Yeah.
no to me, dude. Nice try.
No, it's funny because Zoya, for
funny.
example, you guys are way more casual than Arc Flash is, and
we're
we're
Omega
placing like
casual.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Dude, they're casual than both our guilds combined.
we were in a call for 4 hours planning back-to-back hits, and I think you guys cleared like a little after 4 hours, right?
I mean,
It was,
Jay,
it was
you're
around
like
the
you're the
4-hour
lead.
mark. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I feel like it's just that, and like if players just know what they're doing, right? Because let's be real, like a lot of people in a union need to be led. They need to be told
Oh,
what to
100%.
do, how
Yeah,
to
yeah,
hit,
yeah.
or it's gonna go to shit. So
Yep.
that's why like having union leads are important, but like sub leads are so crucial to a union to live. Like you need those sub leads to hit. But like
Mhm.
I joke with Scar about you guys being full casual, and we're like sweating our balls off and we're one place above you.
Yeah, bro,
Like-
because they're casual whales, man. They can do whatever they want.
Their whole union is not whale. Their entire union is not whale. Just because
Our average sync level went up. Yeah, our average sync level like went up like 50% only because of Scarrow. Like
Scarrow,
yeah, our average sync level was like not like a little over 300 something. Like it's not even that high. And then Scarrow joins and it goes up to like 400 something. It's like, okay, well, like so
I think
That's
people
horrible, dude.
Something similar happened when we poached 2B after exiled them burnt.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, also, I think it's rough because if you're a top guild, you're trying to find people that are willing to also commit. The only reason why Gold and I are still in the competitive scene is we're getting handouts at this point. We've gotten handouts.
yeah.
Oh my god.
We took like 4 members off Skyfall between the
Yep.
2 of us,
Yeah.
and like those are his top hitters. But
Who got
I
Mr.
think it's
Conto? I'm curious.
what is what?
Did Mr. Conto stay in Skyfall or
No,
no?
He's still
Kanto's
there.
staying in Skyfall. Kanto's staying in
still there.
Skyfall. Kanto is like he's super loyal to Skyfall. But like
Mm-hmm.
people, the thing is like people are experiencing burnout. Like you can look at the sync levels for NA, you'll find a lot of dead accounts that are in the 420s down to like the
Oh, yeah.
380s that just have quit the game indefinitely and they're just gone. And it's because like a lot of the people that I knew that quit were literally like it didn't feel like they were pushing for anything. Like you can push for hard mode, sure. Union race feels like a joke. It's
Oh, yeah.
literally the same thing every single rotation. It's just log in, clock out in like 2 hours. Like even the people that are on top, like Sin's Union and all their subs, it's just like what more can they do at this point?
Yep.
It's just a rat race against Scarlet for the most part. That's literally all they're doing.
Again, they just need
it's-
to
yeah.
revamp the shitty mode. Like it's not fun. It's boring. It's like it's super hectic. It's
When-
stressing. You know.
Yeah.
When the game
mean-
initially came out, and I guess this can go back to what Ali was saying about them not expecting the game to grow as it did. I don't think they expected people to be this high sync where they are right now, to
Oh,
where they
yeah.
can just like bang out and clear. Like average
Yeah.
sync in NA top is like 480. That's Scarlet.
yeah.
I don't know if
something
it's
like that.
higher. I think JP is higher than that, but like it's you can literally form a hodgepodge union of a bunch of rejects from top 50 unions and just be in the top 50. It's
Mhm.
not that hard to do anymore.
Mhm.
But
Yep.
I also feel like as a union leader, it doesn't feel good anymore to be in the top 50. It's just like a
No.
normal thing. Like
I
breaking
just
into
wanna
it
have
was
the
like an
bed, bro.
achievement. Yeah,
It's an expectation because we know we can do it at this point.
yeah.
It's like we can guess how many times we're like, oh yeah, we can be in the top 20 if we clear in this time, and then like 10 more unions are clearing around the same time as us, and then we're pushed back five union ranks. You know,
Yeah.
just the average player in the middle end is going up, and then the amount of unions that are clearing like full clearing in like I don't know what, some 4 hours probably for top 30 or something like that, or like around 4 hours for top 30.
Yeah, it's like 5-ish hours. Yeah.
Yeah, the amount of unions just skyrocketed in the last like few months. So I don't know. I think the expectation is
average
just that
synchro is
all
up.
of us are doing it. Yeah, the average synchro just is way
Yeah.
higher now. So
I think
was-
a big problem. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ali.
I was just saying that what we have as an issue, for example, the union that I'm in, we're feeling really fucking badly the whole situation because we finish in 1 hour 20 something, the entire union
Mm.
rate. And it's a high pressure situation where
Yeah.
we're racing against currently Nightmare and Warcraft. And a lot of people are burning out. So, for example, I know in Omni, like a huge chunk of the accounts are just piloted. Like
Oh,
they're
they're
just
pilots,
they're
yeah.
fully piloted.
Mm,
Not
And
even during
that's-
the union. I mean, even off union, they're even
Yeah.
off union rate. They're just 100% piloted. They're just
What is
dedicated.
the other top JP union? Is it Red? I think
Omen,
it's
wasn't it?
Omni and oh, is it Omen? I know somebody from Omni, and I think it was Omen because I was talking to top sync players. There's a guy that's in this like 500 plus sync, and he flat out quit. They just gave his account to the union because if
Oh, yeah.
he leaves,
That
it's
was
like
in-
such a big detriment. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
that's a
That was Omni.
a
Yeah.
large amount of money invested in the game. First off, that is a crazy amount of money in the game.
I mean, the guy's a
And-
famous musician, though. So
Yeah, yeah.
for him,
yeah.
it's
Well,
not
okay.
so much.
We're not gonna out people, but yeah, sure, yeah. But I think another
we
big
should-
issue with union rate, I don't know how it is with global, but any starting time is so dog shit. It's such a dog shit start time.
Oh, globals is
Whoa.
even worse. dog. They start at 4 in the
dare
morning.
complain to global while starting times? We start at 4 a.m.
Yeah, they start at 4, dude. It's pretty
It's
bad.
4
Like
a.m.
yeah. Fuck.
If
We
I
have it
want to
easy
be there,
compared
I
to
have
those.
to be up at 3 a.m.
I didn't know that. That's
Start playing at
crazy.
4 a.m. and go to quote unquote bed at fucking 5:30 in the morning
I
on a
I only
week
bring up
work
start
day.
times because we've had to cut people out of Arc Flash and send them to Gold Hub because we clear too quick. like their timing was like I can be back after work like 5 hours. I'm like, all right, we clear faster than that. To Gold Hub you go, and we just like push them over to another union.
Dude.
And I don't know, man. I feel like eventually I don't want to. The thing is like there's an obligation as a union leader as well to like your union wants to stay consistently like top 50. They want to hit new goals. But as a union leader, I don't care anymore. Don't
Yeah,
tell
you
Arc
have a
Flash I said
point,
that,
but
but like the
I mean-
grind just feels repetitive. If I feel like a dick telling everybody to build the same 3 teams to like try hard in the game if they're taking it casually, right? Like I have casual
Mhm.
whales in my union, and I don't want to
Same.
be doing that to them, but it's the incentive of like if you don't keep up with playing NIKKE and familiarizing yourself with comps, you're not going to perform on UR, especially for overlap hitting. I don't want people to like miss out on their hit and feel like shit, you know? So go ahead,
I'm
Alex.
gonna
See
say
all the R boys in
something
chat?
because I
we just need something new.
know a little bit of the back end of some of the stuff that happens, at least like in some of the top unions. Sync level is still king. You can have very bad investments. Synchro is still king in as far as union rate is concerned. Omni, for example, has one of their strongest hitters is literally fucking level 10 wingman with 10 diesel core 7 as its main investment. Full well. I wish I was kidding, but I speak
No.
very often with some of the officers of Omni, and they
I've
fucking
seen it.
want to. They just fucking want to shoot up a Walmart at times. When you just
Mhm.
listen to them talk about the fact that they cannot control some of their whales investments, but they're at that level of whaling where their synchro just kind of
How
compensates
high
for it.
of a synchro are you talking about with that account
Yeah.
specifically?
Mid 400s to almost 500s.
Yeah, that you can get away with that.
Yep.
You definitely can.
Oh, he absolutely can. He fucking decimates bosses.
Yeah, I think it's level 421 is like across the board you can kill tyrants if they don't have core. It was either 400 or 421. It's one of the two.
I would
Or
say
one
even
is
at like
where-
300s you could kill. Just you have to have good investment, right? Like we've like some of us at 300 can do it. Yeah.
I beg to differ if it's a boss like Nihilister, because that's a
Okay,
bad
yeah. If it's
DPS,
fucking
right?
nihilist or like no like no
but
parts
that also
padding
has
or no
like
core.
1500 HP bars at like stage
Yeah.
7. Like, yeah, her HP is just ridiculous compared to most
And there's
other
nothing you can
bosses.
take advantage of unless you're going for part break at that point. But even then,
Mhm.
people can't do that are at that level, like 381, 361. There's no way they're breaking that part when they're
Especially on
fighting
Yeah.
stage 10.
Okay, then yeah, if it's
especially
a
on
boss
stage 10.
fight, then
For
sure.
401 is the breakpoint. Like Synchro 401 is the breakpoint where you can just alt tab, open Pornhub, and no matter what the boss does, it will not kill you.
You really have to add that Pornhub line, brother.
The bars,
He's not joking.
Oh, sorry,
because,
I
like,
should have said Gold Hub. My bad.
you gotta mention the
it's
hub,
the
bro.
Gotta
grind.
mention the sponsors.
Yeah, always mention the
Sponsor,
hub.
I wish.
Watch Cam Girl Maids live on Gold Hub.
Okay,
Get
buddy.
our sponsor of the
Okay,
day.
buddy.
I mean,
Oh,
at this
you
point-
are
at this point, it's
obviously
just Twitch.
YouTuber.
Yeah, at this point it's just Twitch.
The tying to union rates, since you guys also mentioned this earlier about paying, and I always think it's fun. I wanted to make a video about this, but what are your thoughts on both union rates, handling accounts? So a union leader or an officer or 2-3 people playing for everyone else, and
That's ass.
and for solo
got
raid
piloted last union
for
raid.
people
I
to pay
literally
to
got
get the
piloted.
runs. Both of those
It's
things.
I
not
couldn't
as
make it.
bad with union rates because for union rates, 9 times out of 10, the people quit from burnout or their life obligations, and they're in a position
Mhm.
where they can't leave the union because they're an essential player in the union. For example, a lot of
That was me
I
last
think
union
it's
raid.
I think it's a top 10 union or it's a top 20. I can't remember. There's like 10 piloted accounts in that union, and it's all because they work night shift. So they cannot come in and do their hits.
Yeah.
So they have 3 dedicated pilots, and the problem with that is you have to overlap hit, and at the same time you have to be swapping accounts. So they have to stagger it to where you're not overlapping with each other. So it becomes a headache, but I don't view it as detrimental as solo rates. Because solo rates is supposed to be a test of your individual skill. You have multiple days to do it. To be paying to not even just be there, but to populate a good majority of the top 50, it undermines people that are actually trying to push into it. And I get it's a whale race. I understand that. But I don't think it's exactly fair to pay one person, by the way, to pilot 13 accounts in solo raids and just you're gone.
He's making money, bro.
Yep,
Last solo raid it was happening again. I was like, fuck it, I'm parking next to Sky. I'm done. I'm doing this run and I'm done. And I guess I parked next to Sky and that was it for me. But it's not as big of an issue in union raids as solo raids. I don't mind it because union raids is way more time sensitive, and you can't tell somebody to like call out of their job for a day
Yeah.
for UR.
Can
It's
I-
just
Yeah.
not happening.
Can I
Agreed.
give just a shout out to Yuri Neko for being the sole reason Adams is even in the fucking top 20 something in global? Dude pilots
Oh,
like
for
80% of the union on his own.
Jesus fuck, dude. 80%, dude.
Like the dude like pilots almost the entire union.
like
and
we
they're
just
like
stressed
top 20
piloting
something.
5. Yeah, that's crazy. Top 20 is what? That's like a 3-hour clear.
Yeah, on his own, basically.
That's crazy.
He pilots like 70 or 80% of the fucking thing, and then
Stop
someone
caring
else like
about
manages
your.
nothing.
Are you talking about stop caring about your solo raid rank? Because I have a major issue with people paying to get into the top 50 that don't actually run their own accounts. Because I've seen like people mauled for hours going on top 50, and then just to
Yeah.
have somebody go,
Yeah,
"Oh,
because
here's
you
like
can just turn
250 bucks."
into most
Put
of
me
the
on
skill
there.
guys
Boosting.
in your streams when Union Raids or when solo raid is out. I don't do it, but you can go to any of your streams and you are doing it for like 3, 4, 5, 6 hours trying to get like a good rank.
Oh,
I
you
don't.
are. You can't care. Okay, I thought you meant SR. My bad. Union raid. I think it's more so the integrity of like you're all going for a common goal, and to. I feel like, are all of you union leaders here or like sub leaders or no?
Nope.
Like,
Me and
Oh
Sky-
yeah,
both
I'm
me
not.
and
I'm not a guild
Skyro.
leader, man.
I'm not including
Like
in
this
hub.
guy.
Who's in hub? Nah, I'm
Oh,
joking.
okay, buddy. Yeah, we don't
But
count, bro.
I think
I've been
at least from the
officer in the past, but
perspective
not
of
in
like,
Void.
are you an officer, Ali, or like are you a co-lead?
Not in
or?
Void. Not in Void, but I've been officer in
Okay.
other games and everything. So
Okay.
I know
Okay.
the feeling.
I think it's more so like if we were to slip up and go down in rank, it's very demoralizing. I feel like because we know that we can do better every single UR, and
Mhm.
it's just like that. That's part of the crushing weight of being a union leader, especially if you're the head lead, the founder of the union. It's like, well, if we fail, it's ultimately your fault. That's what it feels like because you
Yep.
could have done more to, you know. And that's why Gold balls himself every union raid. I keep telling him to make co-leads because
Yeah.
like you need co-leads are so essential to get UR done. Like I was solo leading my union when we were doing 6-day clears, and I literally stayed up for like 74 hours, and I could not, dude. I was like hallucinating at that point. I had
Yeah.
to go to bed. But it's just really rough because there is some people in the union that want to keep improving. There are some people that are casual, but ultimately it's a group effort. So it's kind of like the greater for everybody in the union rather than just a few. They tie the rewards in flat returns based on the number of days to clear. I don't think,
That
dude,
would
a lot
have
of
its
top
own host of
unions.
problems. That would just make it so that it's even more of a speedrun
No,
for
yeah.
other people. Because for us, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. We already clear in
Yeah,
less
we
than
can
1
already
hour
clear
and a
in
half.
one less. Yeah, we
In a
cleared in
day.
what 3.5 hours, 4 hours. So it's like
We clear
Yeah,
in
you guys are right
127
behind us. Yeah.
yeah. So for us, yeah, it wouldn't make a difference. We clear within the same day union rate comes out. But for other people that can't, it's like, should they feel bad as a day goes by and lose rewards if their union can't do it? I don't think that's fair.
I feel
Yeah,
like
just
I
1
think
through 10
it's-
rewards are fine for now, right? It's just they need to add like more.
challenge mode.
Yeah,
There
exactly.
needs to be something at the end because all we're doing for the next 5 days is we're just testing damage with comps.
Yeah, we're
That's
just
all
sitting there
doing.
and like pre-designating for the next UR. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Basically what I did, yeah.
Yeah, just give us a big ass dummy with like infinite HP and just see what you can have unions hit it until
us
they get a
slap it.
score, and then and
Yeah.
whatever your
Yeah.
score is at the end, just boom, you get something else for that or some shit,
Something like a
exactly.
union-wide solo raid kind of
Yeah,
thing.
that'd be fun.
And
That would be so cool, man.
That'd be
Just give us
fucking
like
sick,
a like a Stormbringer X and have him be like the entire sky and have your union all hit it
Speaking
at
of
once.
Stormbringer,
And
that's our next solo
it's-
raid.
Because it's union-wide, they could even make it to have multiple bosses, one for like each element of the season. So for example, this season we had fire, wind, and electro, right? I think we
Yeah.
had, and one water.
We
Yeah.
had
So
water.
they could
Yeah, I
put
think
four
so.
bosses. They could put four
Yeah.
bosses at the end where you can just do infinite damage on each of them, and each of them have their elemental stuff, like so that it's a union-wide thing with on top of that elemental. So you have this situation where, for example, I don't know about Gold Hub and Arc Flash, but in my union we have a situation where, for example, I have crazy electro damage, right? So they have even sent me to solo some of the level 9, level 10 bosses.
Yeah.
Due to incidents that happened in one of our runs. And we have other people that have crazy fucking fire damage units because, Gamba. The fun of the Rocket Gamba. So making it so that you have multiple bosses with elemental weaknesses instead of a singular one would be nice in the sense that you would have this team situation where you have some people that compensate for others' weaknesses, and it really brings forward that, team effort, or at least the person that is going to pilot all of the accounts for the hits will at least have something to play with.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Okay.
You,
I think
you know what I mean?
yeah, I think
Yeah.
addressing because I get what Scaro's saying in the comments about like giving flat rewards, but it's gonna come to a point where I feel like rewards in union raids is just gonna be so imbalanced because the top unions can clear as fast as they can,
Yeah.
right? Like it's not gonna. The main thing is like it's fair in air quotes, right? Union chips don't mean shit at this point. Like you can be number one, and at that point, number one union like Scarlet or Sin, they have like all their invested cubes. They have enough to get MLB if they want to, for other units that come out. I think like implementing what Ali said would be a lot better because it's gonna come to a degree where it's just like we're rat racing and then we're not doing anything. We're just clearing faster and faster. Like
People
Mhm.
cleared
everybody's
under
gonna
1
catch
hour.
up. Yeah, like under 1 hour clears are crazy to me about how fast that goes.
It's
Mm.
a mix of synchro and also organization, multi-hitting bosses.
Yeah,
Because here's
Yep.
the thing: what happens. So we will eventually hit a point where the only bottleneck will be loading screens, and that will
that's
That
where
happen
will
very
Scarlet and
quickly.
Sin
Yeah.
are. Yeah,
It's not
there's
just
a
Scarlet. It's they're not at that point yet. Scarlet and Omen and everything. Because what's going to happen is you will reach synchro levels for on average for the entire union. So okay, right now we're at a situation where Scarlet being sync level 600 is crazy, right? Imagine a few years into the future they don't change the situation. Now imagine it's 20% of the union that is sync level 600.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
you're not going to overlap one person. You're going to overlap 5 people. You're
Yep.
not going to go in there for 1 minute and a half. You're going to go in there for like 20 seconds.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
That's what's going to
Yeah.
happen. They're literally going to go in,
So-
do one full burst rotation on level 10 bosses and quit out because that's what we do
Yeah.
on the early bosses. We are aiming to kill the bosses within a single burst rotation.
Yep.
Like all of the level 1 through 5 bosses, we kill them in one single burst rotation. Something
Mhm.
like that. Well, not all of them, but the ones that
Yeah,
are
most of
doable,
them.
we kill them in a single burst rotation, just to be faster. So you're getting into a situation where at some point we're just gonna have a fucking 15-minute union clear or
Yeah.
union raid.
yeah.
The
Again,
bottleneck
like
will
the
be the
more,
computer.
like you said, right, Ollie. Like the more we play the game, right, and into like the future, the more guilds are just gonna clear in like sub like 1 hour, right? So it's gonna be a fucking waste of time, right, to like compete
Here's
and yeah.
here's the scary thing: is that what we're feeling right now as top unions, we're just quote unquote living in the future compared to the rest of the player base. In a year time, if nothing changes, the rest of the player base will have caught up with where we are at, and they're
Yep.
going to start feeling the pain that we're having right now
Yep.
in those regards, because they're going to clear faster and faster as well. We already are having top
Mhm.
50 day one clears. A few months
Yep.
ago, it would have not even been the top 100.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, because like NA server, we were day 3 clear 3 union raids ago, and we were already still top 20. Now, like a day
Now
3 clear is not
we're all
even
like day one clears, yeah. Like it's stupid.
the entire top 50 was day 1. Yeah,
Yep.
I think it was top 200 in JP. So it's crazy.
Now
How
wait
fast people are
until
clearing.
the plat plebs actually start day one clearing. That's going to be a scary thought.
Oh boy.
I don't think it's as scary though because most of the casual juniors, myself included, we don't time out the hits. We don't prepare anything. We don't even have a
No,
Discord
no.
for my guild. So even most of those people, I am top 100 even with no preparation. We're like 90
Mhm.
something. We don't prepare. We don't talk in this. We do nothing. We clear day one. So I don't think it's a problem for this type of union because you guys prepare. We don't. So you will still be ahead of that. But it's gonna be a problem just in the sense of shit rewards and a system that
Mm.
doesn't benefit anyone long term and
Yeah.
just causes
Yeah.
burnout. Because
Don't
it
get me
doesn't cause
wrong.
anything
When I
else.
said a scary thought, I didn't mean that they're going to compete with us. It's not even close. You could put fucking 20 Scaros. If they don't overlap hits, we'll still be faster. The thing
Yeah.
is, what's it called? The thing that is really scary is the fact that how many complaints and how many people are going to
Oh,
start
yeah.
feeling that burnout. That is
Yeah.
the fact that that burnout feeling will start reaching the rest of the player base. That's the scary
Yeah.
thing to me.
I mean,
Yeah.
hopefully
Because then
they
the game is
change
gonna
the
They need
system
to
before
revamp,
that.
man. They
Yeah.
need to do it. Yeah.
I get Scaro's point of like making the fast clears obsolete with the rewards. Unfortunately, we're playing NIKKE that has like over 15 leaderboards. They're not gonna do that.
Yeah, true.
Their whole incentive is
some
leaderboard
days.
competition.
Yep.
So it would be great if we could have flat rewards. Like I completely agree that the timing for clears is so stressful for people to just mitigate and maintain union rate. But ultimately, I don't think that's going to be something that shift up changes. I don't see them making it not worth fast clears, because then that kills incentive for like their top unions that are swiping and whaling to stay number one at that point. They can still place on leaderboard according to clear time and bragging right. I don't think they care at that point though. I mean, I get what you're saying, but I don't know, man. I wouldn't care if they removed it, but
the
ahead,
difference
Alex.
in chips that we gain is incredibly minimal. I don't know if you guys have seen like the gap between rank
Oh
one.
no,
Yeah.
it's nothing, dog.
It's
It is
nothing.
nothing.
It's
Literally.
absolutely nothing. We're literally doing it for the ranking. So even if they made it a flat rate, it wouldn't prevent the burnout. And there is like this trickle down effect, right? That I've seen in many games, and that exists in NIKKE as well. Is that they see what the top end is doing, and they kind of try to emulate it. And then people that see those higher unions that are trying to emulate the top end, they will also try to emulate that. And you have this little trickle down effect of a lot of people, even down to some of the more casual people, that are trying to emulate what the top players are doing. Directly or indirectly. You see that in League of Legends, you see that in fucking World of Warcraft, you see that in probably Ark, you see that in a lot of games. It's a very normal thing to do. So what they need to fix is the fundamental issue, because they cannot change how players behave. Trying to change how human nature is a losing battle. That's not something that any fucking game developer should try to do. Fixing it fundamentally by making it so that instead of being a time race, it's a static, hit the dummy as hard as you can and see what you score in, kind of like in the bowling alleys where you go to that little thing and you slip and you kind of break your nose on the chair and something. You know, those things is what union rate should be like.
But that's assuming they change the system.
They have
Mhm.
to.
Because the system has been bad since day one. I don't think anyone liked it
Yeah.
at the start.
The same.
Now it's just more clear for more people. But for you guys, top unions, it's been clear for the longest time anyway.
I don't disagree that like we shouldn't be molding. The thing is like, because Tooney's saying like isn't telling people not to mold changing human behavior. Everybody in here, would you guys not want to mold union raid? Like if we didn't have to plan shit, wouldn't that be so much easier? But the reality is, because it's time based, we have to. Because it's competitive like this, we have to. I would love to not do this shit, but it's like my wife getting stressed because, as far as I can tell, she wants to be. It's different. It's different, bro. Listen, you have a Zoya member next to me right here. Come on, dude.
Yo, Jay, you want to say hi real quick?
So
Imagine
It's part of,
molding.
it's part of the progress. Yeah, but
At this
can
point,
be
it feels like
better
an
molding.
obligation.
It's not even a matter of obligation. Is that we like to push ourselves. The problem is that the format of the competition
It's trash.
is the issue.
Yep.
We
Yeah, it's
like to
terrible.
compete, and that's why we compete.
It's awful.
Exactly.
Terrible.
Solo raid is bad, but at least you have multiple days to mount. Union raid,
It's
you
like-
have to mount on
We gotta
3
do
hours.
that shit in less than like 4 hours
Yeah.
now. Yeah, it's good.
It's like
awful.
telling people that enjoy competing in boxing, just don't compete in boxing because you're getting a concussion. That's not how this works. We enjoy competing because it's something that we have fun with. The problem is that the format needs to be changed, because not only does it affect other people as well that are trying to emulate us, or other people that are not even trying to emulate us, but that are going to start feeling it as the average synchro goes up. Because once you finish Union Raid, what the fuck are you left over to do, right? Just practice, like just look at damage numbers for the next Union Raid, and that's it. If they make it something like a punching bag that you hit as hard as you can to try to get a higher score, it becomes like solo raid, where people just, do hits, do practices, and have something to look forward to for, the entire season, instead of, damage testing for the upcoming Union Raid, which, by the way, is not super useful. We do damage tests, but at the end of the day, we still do an additional layer of damage tests right before, because synchro levels go up.
Exactly.
Meaning that me doing 1 million damage to a boss this Union Raid doesn't mean that I'll do the same damage the
Yeah,
next
to the next one.
Exactly. Yeah.
I still
So there you
think
go,
the
Sefhi.
Union shooting range should let you select the boss that you want to be practicing for.
Oh yeah.
They need like
they need that.
a good first change, but
Oh yeah, the choice to mold is absolutely individual.
Yeah.
We are choosing to mold. The thing is, it's up to the game developers to change the rules of the game to make it more fun. Because we're still
Mhm.
going to try to compete, and eventually we'll get burnt out on stuff. And what they
I
want
also
to do
wanna-
is, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I don't know. Go ahead. You're fine.
No. Go. Sorry.
I just
I've been
want to say
talking
we're a small demographic of the player base.
Yeah.
We're incredibly small. I think like we're what like less than 1% are actually competitive like
1%.
this.
Yeah.
So again, like Ali said, the choice of mod is completely on our own, but it's just it doesn't feel fulfilling anymore to
Mhm.
push as we are. I guess.
Like the rewards aren't fulfilling, the gameplay is fucking dog shit, and like they just need to change their formatting, and then maybe clearing for union raid actually would feel better in our lives, instead of feeling like it's a fucking chore every two weeks and whatnot. You
Do you guys
know?
know
Both of
how
you are
union
without
rate
a
feels to
kid.
us?
Yeah.
Like, to have a general population type of sense of how union rate feels for the top unions, do you have like, damn, it's so much fun. I need to do SI today. This is gonna be so much fun.
I wonder what I
You
get
never
for my
think that
devops.
about
Yeah.
SI, right? Now that SI is a joke for most people, like, does anyone really have fun with that one static SI rotation every
No,
fucking day of the
dude.
week?
We just care
how it
about the
feels.
materials, yeah.
That's how it feels for union rate too, right? It's
Yep,
like,
exactly.
well, time to get rank anywhere between rank 5 and 3 again, I guess. Like, fuck it.
Oh yeah, time to day one clear again. Wake up, honey. It's time for your union raid. Woo!
Like,
Yeah.
ooh, I wonder if I'll have early work or not. Will I need to be piloted or not this time around? Because I have real life obligations for it.
How many
Yeah.
piloted accounts are on this time of the solar raid? Yeah.
Anyway, Seth,
I
you got any
think-
more topics for us other than you are?
Let me see. Other than you are, we stopped talking about raids. We talk about the treasures, about the collectibles themselves. We talk a little bit about guild progression. I mean, we could talk about like a lot of systems, but I don't think the point remains the same across everything, right? Shift Up
Right,
is doing a lot of good changes little by little. We'll see what the treasure system is going to be looking like when they release it. If it's only going to be for all units to catch up, or if it will have an impact on future new units, pilgrims, collabs, whatever the fuck it is. I don't think we should be praising the system. I also don't think I should be talking so much shit about the system. I'm sorry, but overall, it's just a matter of waiting to see if we can really trust them or not. I don't think though on the patch notes we have anything else to go over, since we talk about most of the stuff already. Unless you guys want to talk about anything specific regarding the game. We good?
Mm,
Any specific system you despise with all your might?
Honestly, the lack of rerun system is also kind of, in a sense, pretty bad. Because usually reruns allow players to catch up to some extent because you get materials and
yeah.
everything. And
Mhm.
there's no rerun system. We're getting Red Ash as well added into the thing, which makes me think that we're never going to get any form of rerun whatsoever.
Oh,
That
Tooney
could
makes a good point, by the way, Ollie.
More
More
than
than
30
30
friends?
friends.
Oh,
Bro,
more than 30 friends.
We've
Oh,
been
yeah.
talking about
Crazy.
this. All of
Fucking
us, I think,
friend
we're talking
limit.
about this.
Holy
Yeah.
shit, man!
It's awful.
I hate
shit.
I hate how like I would have like so many people. Hey man, you got any friend slots? Well, I'm sorry, dog. Like,
Yeah,
it's
same.
Dude.
It's like, bro, I can't. I want to.
My request has been full since like I started streaming 2 months, 3 months in. It's been entire.
Same.
Nobody can request at this point. The whole queue is filled.
Yep.
Like, still 31 friends. Oh, I guess like the 51% mold rates. All right.
Oh
Okay.
yes, it's 61 by the
51-49.
way. It's 61 to correct you, nerd.
I
Listen,
will
man,
always say it. I will down that
Good
hill
mega
alone.
swipe.
Yeah, that 1% extra on the malt is a slap in the face. It's literally a slap in the face. It's
Oh
nothing
no,
else.
that shit pissed us off so
It's
much
nothing else.
when they released that.
It's a slap if you don't win.
True. But by metrics, it's a slap always.
Oh my god. Like, a lot of the decisions by Shift Up are just, like, objectively, right? I'm not even talking about predatory or anything. Like, objectively, in terms of game design, like pure game design, even for a mobile game, some of their decisions are so absurdly baffling. I'm like, what kind of crack like were they on? Did they buy it at like the back of a Walmart or something? It's like, what kind of crack were they on when they designed something like, for example, Pilgrim Tower with the Pilgrim molds? Because you cannot buy
Oh,
Pilgrim molds, so
the
there is
molds
not
in
the
general?
financial incentive. That is out of the window.
Honestly,
And it's a
if the tower was to be reset every 6 months, I don't think people will complain as much. Like 6 months, that's only like twice a year for a reset on the towers. But still, like, it's trash. You get 5 pilgrim molds. I opened the other day on stream 3 at once. I lost all three.
All ours, brother.
I'm gonna say something very controversial to some people. I think those modes should be 100. I think they should
Oh,
be
yeah,
Oh,
100.
no,
that's not
They should be
controversial.
100.
Everyone wants them.
I
at
don't think that's
100.
controversial at all. I don't think that's controversial at all. If
Bro,
you're-
there are fat arguments about how it's unfair
They
and
can
shit. And I'm
suck
like,
my
make it
cock,
100.
dude.
Make that
You know,
shit.
you know those
already
people that are like,
hard
yeah,
enough.
dude, like it should say 60.
Okay.
No, they can suck my fat cock, dude.
You guys want to
No.
say how I would have implemented it? And this is something that I've mentioned in my stream time and time again, is that I go back to this story because I'm an OG World of Warcraft player. Like I rated from Molten Core all the way to Trial of the Crusader. Like a World of Warcraft rested experience, which is something that now you see on multiple MMOs, is literally something that is a lesson in game development that is well known and has been known since 2004, and somehow they failed to implement it into NIKKE for the Pilgrim modes. So what rested EXP was originally is what, if you played for too long, you would gain half of the EXP, right? And people were pissed because, why don't you let me play as much as I want, right? It's like, why do you half the XP that I gain if I decide to play for 4 hours? So what they decided to do instead is that if you stay in a city and log out, or just stay in a city AFK for a certain amount of time, your EXP goes to 200. But if you play 4 hours, it goes to 100. It's effectively the same thing. They just changed the way it was presented. Now, how does that apply to Pilgrim molds? It's instead of doing 50% and have 50 full Pilgrim molds in the tower, they could make it 25 full Pilgrim molds at 100% rate. It's the exact same fucking thing in terms of statistics within the wide player base, because the expected value would be 25, like Pilgrims out of those molds. But at least it doesn't have, one, the outlier fuck-ups, and two, it doesn't have the frustration that players have where they feel that they progress for months on end for nothing. Because there's no financial issue here. They don't sell Pilgrim molds.
On
If
the
they
Pilgrim
sold
ones,
Pilgrim molds, then you would say, oh, they're
I
just
mean,
trying to incentivize
you
it.
you are selling the future Pilgrim banners. You are making them having more FOMO since they are 1% and you
There's
cannot buy them
Pilgrims.
anywhere else.
This has been before Pilgrim banners were even a thing. That's the thing. That's what's baffling
I
about
mean,
it.
but
And you're also
you
diluting
knew they were coming.
every time you add a new Pilgrim, anyways, you're diluting the pool, anyways. So there's that argument is not even there in the first place, because Pilgrims are not even limited. So
They're not, but for most players, it's a lot harder to get, and
Yeah,
also a lot
like-
easier to actually spend when the banner comes.
it will screw over people that are extremely lucky, but you will have an equal side of the spectrum of people that are unlucky that will be saved by that, right?
Yeah.
And if there is one thing that I remember very clearly from my fucking marketing courses from way back, is that negative experiences spread significantly at a significantly faster rate, and people will remember them more than good experiences. Someone that gets incredibly lucky on the Pilgrim mold might brag a little bit for a couple of days. Someone that got fucking shafted and has not gotten a single Pilgrim over 400 floors, I can tell you that guy is not gonna forgive or forget.
That poor JP guy on Twitter. Oh, 10 mold up in there. Oh.
Right? Like,
Dude,
that guy is
I'm like-
not gonna forget or forget. That guy might. That could be a quit moment, and you're
I think I've
losing
done, like,
players.
8 molds. I've only won 1 out of like 8. So yeah, rip.
Out of 8?
8 or
Oh,
7.
I've been lucky. I've been lucky.
Yeah.
I'm like 7 out of 8 or something like that. Getting at least something.
I gotta swipe more, I guess, on Pilgrim banners to get to know I'm a whale.
Yeah, man.
I got swipe forehead.
Yeah, I heard the
That's
Alec
okay,
banner is a good
good
place to get Pilgrims.
Oh yeah, yeah.
True.
Shout out to my union member. Jesus Christ. But no, I think other than that, because we already went over Solar Rigging and Raid.
Yeah. One dude wanted us to talk about the macroing issue again. I mean, we TLDR shush. It's basically they're not fully addressing it, nor are they trying to fix it. It's just more of like all right, here's what we plan on doing. Nothing set in stone, type of ordeal. Shush, you know, like yeah, they're saying they're gonna fix it, but you know we don't know how it's gonna look like. Is like the gem gonna stay the same as like you know fast charging, or is fast charging still better? We have to wait, and then we can give like our like definitive like opinion. You know, that's how I
Okay.
feel about it.
You're saying that it'll penalize legit manual players. Yes, that is entirely true. The issue is if they implement, so their system implemented is dog shit, right? It it won't track macro players. Their band-aid fix was just banning everybody, but then they realized, holy shit, we banned like a majority of players that are legit. We wiped everything they ever had on clears. We're gonna try and do something different. I don't know if they changed it at all. Maybe you know, Sefhi, if they changed
The,
how they
the,
track macro
the
input
detection
at all.
system? No.
Barely
Yeah,
It's
changed.
trash.
so
I can tell you from my own
People
personal
keep
tracking.
using macros if they want to use macros. Like there is nothing to properly track who's using them. They don't have something that focuses on just software. Like they are going with a mix of software and also direct input, which is stupid. But it is what it
I
is.
have an entire sheet of it.
if they don't find a way to like make it a bit better with tracking, it's not, this implementation is going to stay the same. They're just going to keep it as the normal macro tracking, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Apparently it's like less likely to ban you now, I guess. Like I had a union member get flagged 5 times, didn't ban him, so I guess it's just a little bit lighter.
Oh, I manual fucking biscuit. Time to get banned for the 6,000th time. Woo!
I lost so many biscuit runs on Chatterbox because I was getting flagged for the infinite
dude.
biscuit call.
At least it's flagging now to only ban you for like a minute or two, because the first version was like 1 minute, 1 day, and then 1 year.
Oh,
directly.
it was my union mate Moonkind. He logged in and he got banned for a full year just out of nowhere.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, bud, it's been fun, GG.
Didn't Shift Up like reply to him like literally a whole day later? He told me about it too. He got the email.
The email was something like, you can't. The stupidest thing about that email is like, if you're mimicking high frequency clicks. So it's basically saying if you know how to click, you're flagged. That's basically what that means. Like high frequency
they said stop being good at the game, bro. Just stop being good at the game. Yeah, gotta go back to boomer hands, boys.
We have players that don't manual Alice. Like I'm one of them on Union Raids. I don't manual Alice because I get flagged more times than I don't if I just don't pilot her. It literally is at that point. But one thing I will say about people, look into the actual macro discussion. There's way less disparity of like people in solo raids, for example, scoring exorbitantly more than other people because they use macros. They still have skill. Like they use macros, they're still skilled at the game. The big argument is like they're all cheaters, they don't know what they're doing. I guarantee you throw Kira on like a dog shit account that's like 340 or 350, he can play.
He'll outscore most people. Yeah, he'll outscore.
He literally proved that during the free-to-play challenge.
Dude, he proved that when the only time he ever lost in the in top ranking was during Ultra, because he was heavily under OL'd for elemental damage. He still was close, but it's like you give a good player good account, they can perform well. You give them a shit account, they can still perform well. The whole argument that all macro users are dog shit, I hate, because that's not true at all. A lot of the top players that use it are incredibly skilled, way more than the vast majority of the player base complaining about it. And it doesn't even affect you guys for the most part in solo raid. It affects people who are in the top 50. Most people aren't going to even get there to begin with. So I understand why it's an issue about players getting flagged, but just look into it a bit before you just say like macros are all cheaters and bad. We agree that we shouldn't have to use it, but our main thing is that Shift Up should implement a way for us to not have to utilize it, which is what we've asked of them for. When did the macro sanction come out? How long has it been now? Was it August?
Summer part 2.
Yeah.
I remember
it's been more than 6 months. Yeah, it's been
way
more
more.
than 6 months.
Yeah, it's brain dead, flow charging better.
I spent like 4 hours testing the entire macro detection system live on stream, on top of an additional 20 hours total testing, researching, and everything. The entire thing. I asked around. I had people from across the top 10 of Southeast Asia, Japan, NA, some other content creators. I even reached out to. I even reached out to the Chinese, not Chinese. Holy shit, that's an insult to the guy. To the Taiwanese guy that made the infamous video of speedrun Ben.
That was so good.
That guy's a Giga Chad. Yeah, that guy's a Giga Chad.
I contacted him. I asked him about, what mouse is he using, what keyboard is he using, how quickly was he clicking. I replicated his clicks 1-to-1. I didn't get flagged. And that's why I started to think, okay, it's not just inputs. It's also falsely flagging whatever fucking mouse you're using. That's why I asked Pyrie back then. He probably remembers. Are you by any chance using a Logitech mouse?
What's funny
because
is
that was a very...
I swapped over because I had the Synapse already, and I was like, oh, I have a Logitech, so I used that, and I was like, hey, I'm getting flagged still, so I was like, fuck it, let's use it. But I don't know if it's like the interface they're using because I'm not familiar with G-Hub. I've never synced it with anything. But I have mostly Razer products, so I have Synapse open a lot when I play. But I guess it's just you have macro. And even if it's that, like you can get macro software that aren't like name brand shit, and you can just install it in your computer. It's not hard. Like
Oh yeah. I mean,
It's
People are
pretty
using like
easy.
auto hotkey and stuff like that. Like there's
Yeah.
just so many ways to
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Sefhi got banned 24 hours or something like
Yeah,
that
it's for, like, an
on
entire
my
day.
behalf. He
Yeah.
got banned on my behalf because I was asking him like, "Yo, can you
Yeah.
make a Python code that creates clicks and that simulates,
But
you know,
the worst part about
macros?"
the Python code is I run it for like more than 10 minutes.
Oh,
And
yeah,
your,
you run it
your
for
runs are
hours.
So
usually
long.
3 minutes. So you should
Yeah,
be
yeah,
fine
so
even with a
long.
code that perfectly clicks. You should be fine. Because it's like, if you run that for a prolonged amount of time, but for a 3-minute run on SolarWind, you can do it.
It's never
No
going to
problem,
detect you
yeah.
because you can just do a 3-minute run and then just fucking take a break, go smoke a cigarette or something, and then come back and do the rest of it. Like,
Yeah,
mean,
their
Scar's right,
detection
boomer hands.
issue. Oof.
the
Boomer
main
hands.
issue is that they're not even. That's something that they're not even fixing the macro situation because there might be a few like crazy min-maxers that macro all the way to their burst generation, right? So that they macro their Tias, their Alices off burst. But the crux of the matter is when you look at the patch notes, they're talking about burst generation. The biggest like macro offender is Alice on burst because that's the
Yeah.
one where you cannot fuck up your shots. And that's where most people will be using their macros. So
Yeah.
they're not even addressing the core of the issue in the patch notes. They're
Yeah.
just touching the burst generation part, which is not has never been an issue.
Not the
Like I
issue.
said, Ollie, like they
That
need to
wasn't our
toggle.
problem. Yeah.
Yeah, they need to toggle like a fast charge system, right, in the
You
game.
should just
and
make
yeah.
Alice work like Red Hood.
Yeah,
Or
why not just
that,
have it
yeah,
work
there
like
you
Red
go.
Hood and Pascal? Like Pascal's for auto shooting
We-
rocket launcher would like just do
Yeah.
that.
When they
Yeah.
released
Yeah,
Pascal,
for the Alice
honestly, I
burst.
thought that's gonna go like for every
That's what I
other
was hoping.
single
I was like, damn, this is
rocket
working
and
really
stuff. I was
good.
like,
And
okay,
then
I like this. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Just click.
yeah,
But it was like, no, it's
we
only
were
on
hoping
Pascal.
with Red Hood that implemented how they would do sniper rifles from now on, because that's fine. Like you can be boomer hands all you want. You click down a fucking mouse, it shoots the same
yeah, you
rate.
just hold. Yeah,
There's
Yeah.
no difference, right?
You know who
The
else is
thing,
macro?
like-
Oh, sorry, go.
Oh, go ahead. Who else is macro?
Sorry, I just had a random fucking intrusive thought pop in my mind, and I just.
Oh, you're fine. Go ahead.
SBS.
Really?
You want SBS to be like full
Or,
auto charge now?
no. They're for co-op. I know some people that macro SBS
Oh,
because
I've never heard of macro SBS. That's crazy.
I've heard of
you know why?
software
It's
AFK.
because you know what plays better than a human SBS? The AI.
the
If
AI
you
SBS
macro
plays
your-
way more
Yeah,
optimally.
it's way better. Yeah.
There is this joke that the AI is 30% better than Sky because the Alt F4 tactic.
Yeah.
But yeah, continue. Sorry, Pyra. I just had like fucking.
Oh no
ADHD
no.
brain.
You're fine. It's funny to me like how we've been saying they're not addressing the core issue of the problem. Like cool burst generation, awesome. That's such like an arbitrary fix over the fact that like you have players going in and like even on the chapter I'm on chapter hard 24, they're just one cycling 100 HP boss with an Alice rotation because they're macroing it. Like that's way worse than just like burst generation. Burst generation isn't an issue. You're boomer hands if you can't burst charge with Tia. You can be boomer and still burst charge with Tia. It's not a problem. Like, the issue comes with the DPS output in burst. So I don't know how they're gonna fix that though. Maybe like the treasure for Alice is gonna be like she'll have a red hood scope and it just be shooting like that instead. I don't know. Like they'll just still implement something that's just like, oh, Alice is boomer now. Boomer hands friendly.
That'd be good.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, what Shish said in the chat, right? You don't need to have the software as an alt FPS guy. You can just set it to CPI on an install or something.
Also
I
true,
don't
yeah.
know what the fuck it detects because it's super, how do I put it, inconsistent in terms of detection. And also, it shouldn't be on the players to make up for a lot of the very shitty fuck ups of the developers. Sure, we can accommodate it, but they should try to figure out a better solution rather than us accommodating their own incompetence, right?
Mhm.
Because fucking holy shit, like I've been looking more and more ever since I got that that message from the members of Void about them being removed from the leaderboard for that co-op run. I've been looking more and more into their entire anti-cheat detection system. That's what led me to type that fucking thing to Xiaoma that was a little bit colorful. Because across the board, the way they detect cheating in every single regard has been an absolute failure. In every single instance they tried to do it, and every time they did it, it has harmed innocent players and even casual players. Every single fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
Be it co-op, be it solo raid, be it macro drama, be it the fucking Alice bug thing where a lot of people were like the more honest people were a little bit paranoid about it. And I've been clearing chapter 18 and everything, and I see clears from people in my union that just fucking abused the shit out of it, and they got banned for a little bit. The ones that abused it really severely, by the way. The only people that got banned from abusing the Alice thing were the people that abused it to such a ridiculous extent that they fucking went from being, I don't know, early chapter 20 to being in like fucking chapter 22 and a half, right? By just abusing the shit out of it.
Do you think that was because of Nihilister clears? Really low CP Nihilister clears?
Not just
Or
Nihilister,
just-
the whale as well. I know someone that
Whale
cleared
as
both
well,
Nihilister
yeah.
and whale.
Whale's not that big of a problem though. I feel like
Yeah, but they
Whale
cleared it
isn't-
with Alice bug.
Pretty sure like the
That's
average
fair.
thing you need to kill Nihilisters is like 381, right? Like for lowest clear. in, like, NA.
That's if you have good invests. That's
Okay,
really
yeah.
good invests. I cleared at 390, but it's only
390.
because Maxwell was cracked. That's the only reason.
Mm.
Whale's not that
CP
bad.
CP doesn't
It's-
show overload states.
And then Sefhi's just sitting on
Yeah.
the bottom, like, oh, don't push hard command campaign, guys.
I
What the
mean,
fuck is pushing
in
hard
chapter
campaign, bro?
14, I think.
Yeah, gold,
Oh,
gold
you're
push for
so
me.
below-
Gold
you're
pu-
so
gold push for me.
behind us.
Yeah, gold push for me.
No, fuck off, dude. You push yourself,
Hey,
dog.
hey, give me your account. Deadass, I'll push. I'm bored. Give me your account. I'll push. I'm bored.
He's got pilot your account.
Bro, I'm in chapter 18 and a half at like 420k or something.
Get. Oh wait, wait. What's your sync? What's your sync at?
He's
365.
24%. He's pushing at
365.
24% casual, bro. He's a
I can
fucking
get you to
beast.
20.
I'm down, bro. I'm down. I don't want to do it.
No, play on your own
Have
account.
Scarl wire me money and then I'll play. To be fair, anti-cheating code is very difficult to write. I mean, have they ever addressed the fact that it banned innocent players though? Have they ever made a statement like we understand it's banning players that aren't like? I would be
They
I would be
know.
happier. Did they? They did when?
Back during Summer Part 1, during the peak of the drama, there was a developer's note, I believe, about it. And the fact that they
Okay.
reverted quite a few bans.
Okay.
I would need to try to find it, though, because I could be speaking out of my ass. But I
I
do
guess
remember
that's,
seeing something like that.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
Could be,
Like,
but I don't
sorry, we
remember
banned a bunch of innocent people, but we're still going to keep doing it, kind of thing.
Mm.
But
that would
not
be my
really
biggest
said
thing.
that way.
Yeah.
They
Yo,
definitely
Seth,
didn't
good
say
chat?
use the word sorry.
Oh,
They definitely
okay.
didn't.
Yeah.
The
Yo,
emails
Seth.
that you get are just stuff like, oh, you know, like you're mimicking high frequency clicks, get better or get worse in this case. So I don't know. I just didn't like
Oh,
that.
customer support is useless. Never trust. Okay, so rule of thumb, chat, for anyone that ever deals with customer support in NIKKE: never trust customer support or anything they say. 99% of the time, they speak out of their fucking ass, and they're not paid enough to even care about your problems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have
Like,
literally a database
unironically.
of answers that they can give you, and if they don't have it, they will probably pass it to someone else. It's how it
Or
works.
they'll pull it out of their ass. I've had some people that came to me with customer support answers during the peak of the macro drama that were literally direct contradictions to what Xiaoma and some other people that have actual direct contact with ShiftUp were saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Direct
it's the same
action.
automated
I think
response.
I think you showed me that, Ali. I think you.
Yeah.
I think you showed, yeah. I
Yeah,
think
when
you-
they said click slower. That's not the answer
Yeah.
that Xiaoma had and ShiftUp had. The whole click slower answer
Slower, bro.
is opposite
Boys,
of what
gotta go
ShiftUp was
boomer
saying.
now. Yeah.
We should do a macro that's significantly slower and see if it flags.
Oh
This
no,
boomer ads.
bro. We'll let him cook, dude.
SBS macro, technically.
Customer support in NIKKE, mouse software is full of bugs. I think it just comes down to the baseline of like the player base not understanding the core issue and ShiftUp not addressing it.
Yep.
It's not gonna change. Like I'm sorry, top players are still gonna use it. People are still gonna utilize it until they do something to actually hard counter it in the game. People are still gonna use it, which was why we suggested ways that they could mitigate it by making manual play to mimic the macro usage to begin with. Because then it makes so that players aren't going to use... Like, if I can boomer hands Alice and swap to Madurgia in a comp and she's firing at that consistent rate on manual, I'm solid, dude. I go up like 5 ranks in solo raids easily.
Oh yeah, dude. No, everyone would be unbricked, dude, if that were the case.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unironically, at some point, I was so annoyed with the anti-cheat system of Shift Up that I considered making a step-by-step guide on how to make a macro and how not to be detected by Shift Up.
Official CC, by the way.
Oh yeah, I've been like Sefhi always jokes about him saying that I don't want to criticize him too badly because I would get kicked or something. Dude, if you saw half of the unhinged shit that I say on stream about Shift Up, about some of their baffling decisions,
I won't lie to
and
you.
some of the
I won't
stuff
lie
that I've
to you,
said
boys.
directly to Shelma, like you would say, like, how
Ollie-
the fuck is this guy still in?
Oh, you
it's
know
just
this,
chat
right? But
joking
like,
with me, but yeah.
me and Sefhi only joined just for the flex privilege. That's it.
No.
Literally.
Ellie-
I joined because I'm waiting for the second anniversary when they do another video on the stream, and I want to just thank them to increase the most 1%. I just joined for that, and then I'll leave because I'm 100% sure that they will not check those videos. 100%.
Oh, they don't check those videos.
No,
And then I
does
will
Ali know why I got rejected from the CC program? Do you know why I
Not
got rejected from that in the
NDA?
early days?
Oh, it's
No, it
because
wasn't
you
even
refused
that.
to sign the NDA.
It was so before that all happened, right? They're like, oh, if you want to join, you gotta get your numbers up. And I was like, for what? And they're like, yeah, YouTube and Twitch needs to be higher. And I was like, how high? And they're like, oh, here's a reference. They sent me to Myas, and I'm like, who the fuck do you think I am?
Oh no,
They're like,
dude,
yeah,
no.
sign this NDA, and I was
Oh.
like, I'm good, dude.
You realize
Oh,
there's some content creators in there that average like 1 fucking viewer per stream and they still get accepted.
I don't know what happened. Like they reached out to me in like I think April or May of last year, and I was just like, I'm baby streamer,
joined-
so I didn't.
That's crazy, dude.
I want to get
Same time
involved
as
in all
me.
that. I would have joined same time as you around, but I was like, damn, I need to average like 50 viewers and get like 10,000 plus views on my videos. I was like, I can't do that, dude. Sorry.
No,
I have a
it's the
full-time
problem is
job.
that okay, so here's a problem with the official content creator thing. I don't know how much this interests the viewers in general, but they have no idea how YouTube and Twitch function and how they are separate entities.
They don't know.
I cannot speak to the details because of the NDA, but
NDA, yeah.
like the
Mhm.
the things that they ask for Twitch for certain things are partner level, whereas for YouTube,
Holy
stuff that they
Yeah.
ask for certain of the rewards is shit that even I have gotten, right? My 2B disaster video easily got that. Whereas me getting partner numbers on Twitch, like, when the fuck is that gonna happen? Like, genuinely.
Yeah, no. I don't think
Probably not
out
gonna
of
happen.
all of us, I don't think anyone here is probably pushing.
And Gold
no,
almost
no,
got
no,
rejected
no,
from the
no.
partner, from the official CC program thing, until I told directly to her face the person in charge
Oh,
that she was being
mm.
so incredibly fucking stupid. Like, I literally told her to her face, "You're absolutely fucking stupid and you don't know how Twitch works." The guy has numbers that are 40 times higher than some of your actual current fucking official content creators.
Mm-hmm.
Like, literal 40 times. And she was
Dude,
like, hold
imagine-
on. And she was like,
imagine
hold
if
on.
like Timus and like Xiaoma's like watching like this stream right now. We're all
No, they watch
fucked,
my
man.
streams occasionally. They
Yes,
watch my
this
streams
ends.
occasionally.
I am kicked out
still
of the
unhinged as
content
fuck.
creator program.
Like,
I was talking to Myas about this a while back, and I was like, I get that I don't know if it's that team that sponsors like all the VTubers to play the game on like Annie and Half Patch and whatever. I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to bring people in to like trickle down into like the other content creators. And he was like, yeah, it's not working. I'm like, yeah, it's not working. It's not working. Like they'll come in for drops and they'll all leave. They'll all dip.
Yeah, of
like
course.
I've
I've
seen maybe like
because it might help.
it's good for the time
a
being,
little bit of
but
exposure, but long term it doesn't.
They don't stick with it.
Yeah,
long
exactly.
term, yeah.
You come for the drops.
the
and then
content
leave.
creator program, and this is from somebody outside looking in. I know you guys can't talk on it. It looks like there's no longevity to it. It doesn't look like there's a structure to it.
there's no
So-
structure to it.
There's nothing.
NDA or not, I can just say it.
I
There's
haven't
literally
still
nothing.
gotten
They don't give codes,
any
they don't
month
give anything.
any of the supposed payments I should be getting, which is shit. But I haven't gotten anything. I've been there for months already. I don't care because it's nothing to begin with. I don't care. It's an external company that manages like a lot of games, and they do
So it's
it
not Shift
awful.
Up.
No, it's not.
It's not
Shift Up.
Shift
It's not
Up,
Shift
no.
Up.
No, it's not Shift
Oh,
Up. It's
okay.
called Comets.
Yeah.
It's a company based in Shenzhen near Hong Kong. It's a Chinese
Okay.
company
They
that
manage
is like
NIKKE, Path to Nowhere, and a bunch of games.
that Tencent got to Shift Up because Tencent is the publisher, right? For
NIKKE.
Level Infinite
For
is
NIKKE,
Tencent thing. They're the publisher. They don't really have that much. They don't own NIKKE. They have like a minority stake in Shift Up, but they're the publisher. for NIKKE. So they got this Comets thing that is probably another thing under Tencent or something to do the whole content creator management on global side. The problem is that they got this Chinese company to do it, and they're absolutely fucking clueless about most things. It's actually insane. When I was telling like, yo, you have people farming drops in Twitch, that's probably an issue. And they're like, what does farming drop, farming views for drops?
Have you guys seen
I
him?
was like,
Most
how
likely,
do
most
you-
likely he's live right now. Have you been
Uh,
seen him? Or not?
you have a view botting situation. They were asking
No.
me like,
No,
what
you
does
haven't
view
seen
botting
him?
mean?
Let me see if I can
Yeah,
find
is our friend Oli on?
Yeah,
That's a good question.
only
Sefhi.
something. He has always on NIKKE streaming.
Oh, you talking about that Chinese
200
streamer that view
yeah.
bots?
Oh wait, he's
no.
a view botter?
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
dog,
course.
He's a
he
view
is.
botter.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
he's
he's a
top
view
of
botter.
NIKKE, like
he's live,
unless
he's live.
Sky
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
live.
130
Oh my
viewers
God.
right now. So I added him on Discord actually, and I asked him.
Oh, Juju is playing NIKKE.
Yeah, he's playing NIKKE.
Look at his chat,
130
brother.
Oh, no, I
viewers,
was talking
no
about a
chat.
friend streamer of mine.
So
Sorry.
I added him on Discord and I asked him like, "Hey, are you botting? Are you making money? What's going on?" Like, I don't care. I'm curious. I was like, "Yeah, I'm making money. I'm streaming, but I'm not botting." And I'm like, "Yes, of course, you're not
Of
botting."
course, yeah. We can tell you. We can tell you're botting. Like that's.
Let me look at your stream.
I don't know why the
Look at
fuck you would want to
stream.
bot in this category anyway. That's
Yeah.
just petty shit, you know?
Oh, his cat's dead. What?
Yeah, no, he's live for literally
Yeah.
13 hours, 27 hours.
13 hours.
24
Holy
hours.
shit.
No, it's 24 hours. If you go on Twitch stats, you can see
Yeah,
it's
he
24 hour stream.
caps. He
Yep.
caps out the
Oh,
like
the 48-hour
allowed amount
thing?
before it cuts it out. Yeah, like
Yeah.
he caps it like all the time.
Yeah, and
That's
then he will
crazy.
have the ads on the maximum setting possible, so it's like every 15 minutes or something bullshit.
Yeah,
I don't know
he's
how it
literally
works.
getting
but
paid for this. Yeah, he's literally getting paid for this.
Yeah, but I've brought a lot of these things to the community manager people. They're fucking clueless, and some of the people I'm like, what do they do in terms of community management? Because that's not what I know community managers to do. Because I've never spoken to them, I've never seen them do any actual work related to it. The only two people that I've seen do work in terms of community management are Xiaoma and Mucheng. And Mucheng
Mhm.
handles like 99.9% of the content creator stuff.
Mm.
Like
Xiaoma
it's
just
not even
lurks.
close.
For most of the time, yeah. Like, he barely talks sometimes, you know?
Yeah,
but yeah.
and they're incredibly clueless about a lot of things, and their management is dog shit. They never give codes to content creators. You know, the stuff that you see in other games where it's like, oh yeah, thanks for
We only
watching
go
the
to
stream.
one, only.
Here are some codes as gifts, or
We got
even
one
something as basic as a press
for
release kit
his
is
team, right?
non-existent.
Hasn't Tomias gotten one?
He got one, and
Yeah.
that's it. And it was maxed out like 2 hours into the code.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, back when they capped things at like 100 when nobody could use them? Yeah.
The best codes.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
Only
And I don't
Tomias
think
historically
ever-
has done
yeah.
one of those. They're super slow in the payment of the gems, and the people that are being paid monetarily are also waiting for a while now. By the way,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah.
Mm.
They're really, really mismanaged in that regard. I don't know if it's because they're based in China and they're clueless because Twitch and YouTube don't exist there, or if it's something else, but it's really poorly managed in those regards.
It's time for you to move to Bilibili. Time for you to move platforms.
Hey,
Bilibili and Kick.
triple stream, Twitch, YouTube.
Last time,
What's the other one? Kick and then Bilibili.
Kick,
I have
yeah.
My account in
Oh,
there. obviously.
God, no.
last time I
Time for us
tried
to go off
into
Twitter, Blue Skies.
Bilibili, it got blocked for malware.
With Bilibili?
Yeah, Bilibili. I opened Bilibili once and it got blocked for malware.
I have the watch that is good.
Oh, by the way,
I think
Seth,
that'd be
your
yeah.
chat was saying we should discuss about the pieces, you know, the gear. You wanna talk about that, boys?
About the
With the
manufacturer
drops?
unboxings,
The
the
menus,
drop
yeah.
themselves in general? Or?
Oh yeah.
Just the drops in general, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I
Give
think
me
we
a
all agree.
guaranteed
on-
rock a day. Give me a
It's
guaranteed
dog
rock a day.
Yeah, same, agreed, dude. Guaranteed rock a day. I'm
Yeah,
happy.
I think that will fix a lot of the problem because at least you know you're getting a rock. It's not
Mhm.
fixing
My-
decorations, but it's something.
Yeah. My argument was the fact that it's a bottleneck on progression. You have to tier 9 clear in order to get the rock to begin with, and even then it's in a pool of things that could give you dog shit.
Exactly,
So it locks players out from progressing in the game because there is a point where you need OL gear or you're not progressing, like whatsoever. So that's a really big factor. And like the whole thing about having extras in the pool, like the abnormal gear or like the normal tier 9 gear. I have union members that have been trying to get a glove for Pilgrim for a year, and they've been clearing for a year, and they still can't get it.
Oh my
after
god,
a
me
year.
and
I
Sefhi
used to have
fucking
a
suffered,
counter
bro.
on top of my stream.
I remember that,
300
yeah.
something days. I was
Yep.
like, bro, please. Yeah, it's awful.
Dude, you got so pissed off you kicked off Kyle that one stream because he got
His join team lolly guaranteed rocks.
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah,
But
that's the viewer worse from Sefhi.
Yeah, but there's people with even worse luck than me, which is fine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think I don't mind if they do something to like remove or just lower the rates of abnormal gear because let's be real, like is 2B the only utilized abnormal unit right now in terms of gameplay? Like
That's
and
the
it's for
only-
solo rates. It's
Even
the
if
only
it was
character,
not
bro.
only
If
2B,
you're
there
so
is
high
4
on
units.
copium,
There is 4
if you're
units.
so high on
Yeah.
copium, you cannot distinguish
If
reality.
you
then
don't
you can
count
use those
Pascal and Himeno, whatever her name is. And then there is
Yeah.
like 30 Tetra units, 40.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely
Mhm.
unbalanced.
Is A2 even utilized anymore? I know Makimo is utilized for like the first solo raid with Whale. That was the only time I've ever used that unit.
Yeah,
was
she's
for
she has some
Hey.
usage.
Ooh. No.
A2 is utilized if you're just like doing an overdose on copium. Like
Yeah.
you need to bring the fucking.
We get heavy
turn-
metal again and what do you call unit rates? Yeah.
Then sure, yeah, Team 5, dude. But that's about it. You know, like I wouldn't use her in like
The
anything
people
else.
that use A2 in the last few solo rates, like Material H and everything, they need a nice dosage of naloxone for copium.
Yeah.
Holy
For
shit, they're
copium.
overdosing.
Yes, this is
Like,
my dog.
Oh, it's growing, right? No, wait, that's not the other one, right?
What other one, huh?
Don't you have one more dog, or is that the only one?
No, this is the
Nobody.
dog. This is the
You're-
dog.
Oh,
confusing with
on
me.
the pictures when she was a pauper here, I don't know. She looked like she was gonna be like a big ass dog.
Oh no, this is as big as she gets. She's done growing. This is it.
That's what I was like. Wait a second, is it the same dog?
Yeah, I have a chinchilla as well, but she's been like clawing at my knees, so I had to give her attention.
I wouldn't be surprised, Scarrow, if that happened.
Real life
Unironically.
Non-manual
But-
gear, people mistakenly think it will increase the rate. Yeah. Timmy looks with stop. Stop, this isn't Timmy.
But yeah, I think the gear system that it's a lot of reward. Guaranteed a rock at least would be nice, since we can
Guaranteed
at
rock would be
least
nice.
every day we know what we're getting. The rest is a
Yep.
surprise.
Like, honestly, like, not gonna lie. I am still low-key baffled by a few of the things. Is that why are books so difficult to get and why are rocks not guaranteed? Because even if they were
Exactly.
guaranteed, people would still buy a shit ton of rocks off the shop
Mhm.
just because of the RNG of trying to
Oh,
get optimal
yeah.
rolls on the thing.
I
Like, I played BDO. I know the lengths that some people will wail or even attempt to do things to get a fucking pen weapon. Like, you can ask your partner.
Oh no, yeah,
Fiery.
she talked about going for like the dragon pet and she spent like $3,000 and didn't get it. Yeah,
Oh no, not the
that's
pet.
like
Just ask her Black Star pen weapon. Like just
Ah.
tell her that, and you see her reaction on her face.
I'll see the life leave her eyes. I see.
Oh yeah, you will see some sort of like Vietnam War PTSD there in the trees type of situation.
I
Jesus,
think
genuinely.
another thing with rocks that people don't understand is the fact that if once you start locking, that shit's so much more expensive. You can buy the
Oh,
rock packs from the
God.
It's
shop.
so cool.
That's 3 rocks.
Yeah.
If you have 2 lock lines, you're fucked if it's not a good roll.
That's-
You can
that's
spend
like- that's
50
like
bucks to get
4
nothing.
That's 4 rocks to lock and then 4 rocks to roll each time. By the way,
The-
chat is what he's saying.
The
Okay,
biggest
Lenny is
problem
in
that I wait.
Lenny,
oh,
how many
Lenny.
rocks did you spend on Snow White? Just how many rocks did you spend?
Is
on
it more
Snow?
than me? Is it
Oh, you
more
have
than
no
me,
idea.
Please,
You have no idea.
please. I spent
Yo,
like
Lenny.
40 on her.
This is the one that we often
150
rock on, though.
plus.
There we go.
Damn, dude.
That's great.
This goes back
There
to
you
a
go.
big gripe that I have with people. People assume whales get all the best stats because we buy shit. If you look
Fuck
at the
no.
raw number of what we get like 6 rocks per patch. That's nothing. That's if you spend like $150 plus, and even then it can just be defense critical damage, defense like crit rate.
Bad
To get
RNG,
good
yeah.
lines, like people don't understand the line rolls either. The fact that not all of it is 100% guaranteed. Like the best thing that you can get is god stat rolls on a base roll because those are all high rolls to begin with. Once that's over, you're fucked. You're rerolling stats and then you're rerolling attributes. The
Mhm.
ultimate bottleneck of this game is the rock economy. It's terrible. The rock economy in this game is
horrible, dude.
so
Yeah,
bad.
and
It's
the
even
book
worse than the
economy
book.
is also really bad because I was like Scarrow
Yeah.
is in the chat as well, right? Because Scarrow is one of the few people that I have like easy contact with that
Yeah.
actually cleans up the entire shop.
I reviewed Man's account and then even the whale like him doesn't have everyone in the
I asked
fucking
him,
game
like,
10-10-10. You know?
If
Yeah.
can you 10-10-10 just the SSR NIKKEs? And he was like, fuck no. Right? And
Yeah.
the
And
guy
that's
cleans
another-
up the entire shop every single day, right? Like,
Yeah, that's another thing with the treasure system. I feel like if they implement new Nikkes that have broken attributes, if leveled or whatever, it's also going to create a bigger just
Bigger
distance
gap
between leveling
the-
units.
Yep,
Like
100%.
look at the recent solo raid and how much you had to invest in an M-Priv comp. I
Oh,
guarantee
dude.
you people
Oh.
didn't invest in Tove, Leona, M-Priv is a very selfish investment. And if you wanted to perform, they all needed to be maximum. They all needed to be maxed out.
yeah,
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Too much.
and
Too much
there's-
work.
Like Alec is another example of that. She's going to be a unit that's future proof, but you're going to have to invest in her pretty heavily to get her to
And
be
yeah,
sustainable.
at the moment, the only team that could fit her currently is Biscuit. Is
It's
Biscuit
the,
SNES comp.
Yeah, it's the
Mhm.
Bird team. Yeah,
Yep.
It's the Biscuit SNES comp reload team.
yeah.
That's the only team that can fit her at the moment. And you
But
have
it's
the
a
option
viable
of just
team
using
for
OG
solos.
Scarlet.
That is a viable team though for solo raid still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the Burr team, yeah. But that's one thing Tooney's right. That's one thing that we can agree on if you're a whale or if you're free to play. The economy for Endgame is dog shit. Period. Like
Yep.
it's
Yep.
the not
Roads,
even just like the
materials,
books and the
yeah.
rocks. Like even union chips it's meaningless. Like it doesn't mean anything. You can get to the same point of level 7 cubes just by doing solo raid up to challenge mode and farming level 7. That's literally you can just get there regardless.
Yep.
Something that struck me as ridiculous is, for example, I play other gacha games, right? I logged into Arknights because there is this new character that came out called Typhon, like whatever, right? I'll spare you the details. I very sparsely have been playing Arknights lately. Like I've logged in like a couple of times a month in the past few months.
They're on their
I
fifth
love-
Annie, right? Yeah, fifth Annie.
I
Yeah, they've
logged
been out
in.
for a bit.
I logged in. I immediately maxed her level out. I immediately got one of her skills to Mastery Tree, which is the equivalent of 10-10-10ing, kind of like 10-10-10ing. I could get her to M9 right now if I wanted to, and it's the equivalent to 10-10-10. If I stopped playing NIKKE for a while, I doubt I would be able to do half of that easily.
What
Because
does anybody
the
know
materials
what
are
the return gives? Like the welcome back. I've never seen it before. The welcome back commander thing. Does
you
it
get,
give
like-
you skill books?
You get like
I can
10
log it into
books,
one of my other accounts. I haven't played.
like for like the skills and the bursts, and then you get like one of each box of like the 1 hours. That's all you get. It's not a lot.
I think the
Pretty
scaling
nice.
is just the scaling is really, and this isn't even
Yeah,
just for like for skill allocation. Like Scarlet can probably attest to this too. I don't know if anybody else here is like really high level, but like going to Sync 401, people think that high of an outpost you can get enough resources day to day to level up a level a day. You are bottlenecked not by core dust, you're bottlenecked by credits and battle data, hardcore.
Mhm.
And credits is an incredible issue in this game because they require you, if you're competitive, to level 5 all your OL gear. That shit is so expensive.
It is.
Very
So max out
expensive.
555. There are some cases where you max out the boost just to live, like just to get that extra HP. So there's bottlenecks on everything in the end game spectrum, and that's why like the high urge to swipe is so prevalent there. Because if you're not doing that, I think it's an average of like 7 to 10 levels in level 400 plus, and it gets lower and lower as you get through each breakpoint. So it's just like if you want to progress, then you gotta find another way to get the resources, and that's why they have a daily and a weekly shop and a
Yeah,
monthly shop
exactly.
and 3 other
And-
shops and a selector. Just like-
Yeah, the return is really bad as well because, like, there are a lot of things that they should just straight up fix. in those
It
regards.
does decidedly switch back to core dust. I can't speak on your part, Scarl, because I don't know how much buying out the whole shop gives you in terms of those blue boxes.
It
I
probably
know
gives
if
a
you're
lot.
just I know for me at least, like not buying the weekly credits or whatnot, I was bottlenecked from like level 361 up until now. I'm not even waiting for credits anymore. I'm waiting for everything else. So it's
Yeah,
just
no.
very misbalanced at the top, just for everything. If you want to min-max investments, and not even that, like even if you're a free-to-play player trying to get in, I think the later you wait to get into NIKKE, the harder it's going to be, just because you're gonna have a lot of NIKKE doesn't do rerun units, right? Like you said, Ali. Like so, compared to like a game like Genshin, where it's what 4 to 6 weeks per banner, and they have reruns. You are getting a new character every single 2-week period, and some of those characters might be meta units. So
Yeah.
if they come into the game, they're gonna need certain units. Like look at Nagatia, look at Red Hood tech. Like that pushed you so much further than where you could have gone in like campaign
Exactly.
pushing or hard mode before
Yeah.
they got released. Bunny Teams was like you had to be 20 levels higher to clear levels that people are clearing 40 levels below now. It's
Mhm.
crazy.
Especially,
Not only
especially for
that,
example, in my case where I just didn't have OG Scarlet, I ended up using
Oh.
Nagatia Red Hood tech with SBS. It
Yeah, SBS
was
is
functionally the
broken.
same. It was functionally the same
crazy.
thing thanks to the buffs of Red Hood.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think
Yes,
it's just like people. I don't know if people are gonna get overwhelmed coming into the game too. Just with all of the units that are
Catching
out.
up.
It's like what 114 Nikkes that are out right now or
112,
something.
I
Some
think it is
crazy
right
high
now.
number.
But not only that, but the longer the game goes on, if you have 200 units, 250, a new player comes in, what is
Thanks,
the
Tinny.
pool of meta units that you can get that actually will help you? And what is the pool of shit units or units with a treasure, which is even worse for a new player, which is you will need the MLB anyway. So the longer the game goes on for newer players, it's going to be worse to get into.
Even
Right.
in terms of pure game design, there is this concept of just content bloat, right?
Yeah.
Where it's
Mhm.
like if you release too many features or too many things continuously over and over. So, for example, have any of you played Ecocalypse? That's a really good example of content bloat.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, yeah.
I played it for a bit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there are so many systems already on release layered upon each other that there is already an issue of content bloat, and the game is been out for barely any second.
Mhm.
But in terms of NIKKE, the bloat will be an issue when it comes to, how do I put it, the release of Nikkes. You will have so many Nikkes, they need to slow down the pace at some point. Because
We're gonna-
otherwise
we're
you
gonna-
will have a bloat.
Bro,
a genuine
we're gonna get so many people like 2-3 years from now. It's like, oh my god, who's like meta? And then we have to like go through like a whole list of 200 Nikas. Oh yeah, this character's trash. TLDR, this is good, and it's pain, yeah.
I guess going back to chat and
Mhm.
going with what Scar was saying about utilizing the wish list, I think that's also a fair counterpoint is that you can utilize wish list to get meta units.
Mhm.
However,
Uh,
like in the situation where there's like new players in my union that don't have Esnice, who is like essential for some teams because limited banners are going to come and go. They're not going to rerun them unless they're going to do something like Christmas where they're all stuffed in one pool, right? That's fine to get like all the basic units. The fact of the matter is that it's going to be so filled. We don't know if like the wish list is going to be enough at that point to get everyone. Because it's what 5 slots per manufacturer right now. If we double in like a year or two, who's to say that's not going to be enough to snipe the units that you
Yeah.
need at that point?
Yeah.
And even then, it's the issue of pilgrims. Like pilgrims are not guaranteed on
Yep.
on those banners. Like even on pilgrim banners, they're not guaranteed, right? We're all at the point where we're ticket swiping at this point, so
Yep.
that we don't have to
With the buildings, yeah.
go on that bullshit. Rates are a lie on pilgrim banners. We can all agree
Yeah,
on that.
fuck
Rates are a lie.
I say something really funny speaking of pilgrims. With the addition of Red Hood or one of those pilgrims, the amount of pilgrims in the pool while they're trying to keep the exact same 1% created a situation where actually they accidentally buffed the rates of pilgrims. I talked about it on one of my streams. It was very funny because if you look at, they basically rounded up the percentage because the division was not like even, and it ended up like buffing by a little bit of a fraction of a percent. On top of that, I gotta say the pity system in NIKKE is incredibly fucking broken. I wish more games had that. The
I was
ticketing
saying it. I love the
pity.
pity system.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get to execute your pity whenever you want. So, for example, let's say, Pyre, you've been playing Honkai Star Rail lately, right? Are you going to go
I'm
for
playing it
Unhinged
right
Flux
now.
lady?
Wait, I already have her. What do you mean?
You
I
already
have
have it?
Sparkle already. I fully built her,
buggers.
man. I'm playing her right now.
Buggers. Okay, so you get lucky, or you get like unlucky, quote unquote, and it resets your pity,
Yeah.
right? In
Yes.
NIKKE, it doesn't reset. You get to exercise it whenever the fuck you want on whatever banner you want.
That's one thing I like about NIKKE is it has a unique system in that you're not punished for wishing on one banner, not on another. You can just hoard tickets up until that banner comes out that you want to
Exactly.
use tickets on, which is something I
Yeah.
think is good. And also, like, people get mixed luck, but from what I've seen, at least, like, people have had really good luck on like standard banners or like even friendship banners. I've seen people pull like triples and quads on those from time to time.
Yeah.
So it's like there's an equal distribution, I think, for that. It's just specifically Pilgrim banners I feel like are worse. But other than that, I think it's fine.
Yep.
Like the piggy system is fine in this game. And
Even
200 may
with-
seem like a lot, but how generous the game is, especially like I can give NIKKE this. Their anniversary, their half annie, they were incredibly generous with what they gave us. And if they keep doing stuff like that, new players entering at that time or like newer players that entered beforehand will have an easier time.
Yeah.
But I just think in overall progression, they're going to get bottlenecked eventually. It's inevitable. It's happening to all of us right now. It'll happen to people later on when they hit that
Really
threshold.
interesting.
And honestly, to bring up this point, right, what Scarl said about the wish list, yeah, like if, like think about it this way, like if the more you play the game, the more characters you're gonna pull. So it's just a matter of time and dedication, right? Like it shouldn't.
It is.
It's not a bloating problem. It's just a dedication thing, right? Because like if you play the game, like let's say for example you started this game like on like Annie of this year, right? Like I already know players that have like every fucking character in the game, right? Just from starting like at like a starting point of Annie, like they give out so many resources, you get so much pulls, like it's if you're lucky enough, you can pull the whole damn roster if you wanted to, right? So like I said, just a matter of if you're in for the long run or you're just gonna like make it short. And yeah, that's why Nikke's doing it right. Like they're making it to where new players aren't overwhelmed. They're giving us new improvements, more slice of life updates. Like it's great. It's great. It's great. So don't stress too much about the whole bloating content thing. I would say it's just a matter of if these new quote unquote new players can stick in the long run, like how we did it. So yeah,
What's
that's my thoughts
really
on it.
interesting is that I'll look back to a point that Pyrie said early in the stream where he was saying that Nikke is incredibly predatory and more predatory in some regards than, for example, Genshin and Sariel. And it's actually interesting that it gets predatory if you're trying to be competitive and you're trying to get advantages and everything. Because if you're more on the casual side, just getting your one copy of a Nikke and just, playing at your own pace kind of thing, it's incredibly fair and very forgiving and very free to play friendly or whatever you want to call it. Like it's very non-predatory at all. It's once you start getting into those like kind of competitive fringes where you start buying the core dust packs, you start buying all of the rainbow ticket packs, to get additional copies, where you start like where you all of the expenses just pile up exponentially. Like how much does it cost to buy like core dust per month, right? For a whale to
If you do daily,
if you do daily or weeklies type of stuff, right? I'm not saying go to the extent of, for example, Caripo or Scaro. I'm saying like even for people on your level or Lenian's level who is slightly ahead in terms of levels. Like how much was it? I think Lenny said he will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he said like 3K per month or something.
if you buy out what the whole daily shop, the entire daily, weekly shop, monthly shop,
The core dust stuff, yeah.
3K for all the core dust stuff.
I don't remember how much core dust he bought. I don't remember if he was also buying tower plus monthly and stuff like that.
I actually, it's funny you say that. I have a sticky note that I was like, all right, I'm not going to be a whale anymore. I'm just going to buy weeklies and monthlies, and I parsed out how much it would cost me.
2K
It was
a
like
month.
500
He corrected me.
2K
He was
a
spending
month.
2K a month, yeah.
on just core. What were you buying? Were you buying the selector shit too from that? Or was it?
Yeah.
That's more than I've ever spent in a month in Nikke, so I just don't know.
For those who don't
just
know,
don't
by
know.
the way, just to introduce him, Lenian is a good friend and he is an officer in Omni, which is the top union of Global. But yeah, like it adds up very, very quickly once you start trying to buy advantages. So if you try to... Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Like when you try to buy advantages, so for example, Rockas, or you try to buy manufacturer gear, or you try to buy core dust, the expenses will pile up to the thousands really fucking quickly. But if you only buy like the occasional rainbow ticket and stuff like that, it's actually, or even purely free to play. I know that Yanni is probably still lurking somewhere in the chat, and he pushes really fucking far while being fully free to play. And
Yo, Yanni, wake up.
yeah. How do I put it? It really becomes predatory once you start going into the competitive aspect of it. If you go into the casual, it's actually not predatory. Well, it still is a gacha game, but it's not almost not predatory at all, is what I wanted to say.
350. I saw
They
no
woke
point in
up.
continuing to get capped for. Okay. I mean, the reason why I stopped willing was the same reason. I was spending roughly like 1,000 to 1.5K a month on Nikke, and it got to a point where, for one, I'm trying to buy a house at some point in the future. I want to save money, right? Like that's gonna cost. I have a lot of future shit that I need to save for, and I realized that like past 401, talking to people like Golden Eagle or like Scaro or people who are up there like Sky, it becomes like not just an investment, it becomes a requirement to start buying out everything like that to just keep up with progression. That's why I kind of like the solo raids is locked. If solo raids was not locked at level cap, I wouldn't be on top 50. Let's be real. like Scarl could go there and auto and be like top 5, right? Like so, there are certain things that are super competitive in that aspect, but I also think that how much money is it to buy out the entire event shop? Because whales do that too. Nikke's gonna keep being predatory because there's a small, I think it's like 1/10 of Genshin's audience, but we make like around the same amount as like Star Rail
This is
does
the
and
first
Genshin
month
does.
we are not like top 3-4 gachas.
Yeah,
Which is
so
crazy.
we have a significantly smaller player base. I think
Yeah.
it's like less than.
Oh, the player
Is
base
it less
is
than a
huge.
million
No, the player base
for
is huge.
Nikke?
Player
it
base
is
for
we don't have
Nikke is
data
huge.
for
It's just
monthly
people
active
don't watch
users.
streams.
Uh,
So, for example,
they
for
just don't watch
reference,
streams, yeah.
the half anniversary stream. Hell, well, let's talk about the full anniversary stream. If you add up the viewership from the live stream on Twitter, because JP loves their fucking Twitter live streams. If you add up YouTube live stream and from the JP and the EN side and everything, you had 500 to almost like close to 1 million concurrent viewers.
oh,
Like you had
okay.
like 500,000 concurrent viewers, and that's people that watch the stream, right? If you think about it, the people that are engaged enough in the game to watch the anniversary live stream, probably like a fifth of the player base. Objectively speaking, like if you think main court is a representation of the majority, no, they're fucking less than 0.1% of the player base.
Oh, they're all
Nikke is
bums,
nothing.
dude. Who
Yeah.
main court?
And they're
who?
all bums, yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
social,
all
like
bums.
any social media for
Shout
the
out to
game.
my favorite bum, Pentlime, who hangs out in main court all the time.
Anyways, go on.
Sefhi
But
was saying something, I think, or
yeah, go ahead, Sefhi.
Yeah, what up, Seth?
Me? No, I wasn't saying anything.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
Oh,
was talking about the representation of the player base, like even social media profiles, nothing in comparison to like casual players' numbers. But we don't have like the specific metrics for monthly active users because Play Store doesn't publish that. Because it's good metrics for third-party titles and everything else.
mostly the reason why NIKKE makes the most amount of money is like y'all said, right? Like it's because like the end game, it like you kind of it's kind of required to like swipe to like increase, and if you want to push farther, you have to swipe more, So that's just
I guess
and like go on.
go
What
ahead.
up?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay.
I cut
Yeah,
people off.
because no, you're good, dude. But yeah, no, like for example in Genshin, there's really not like there's not really a huge like end game where you have to like compete against other people, right? But in NIKKE, we have to always fucking do solo raids, right? And in order to get top rank, you have to just swipe, right? That's why NIKKE kind of makes more money in like than other gacha games in the sense because there's like a dedicated scene for whales to fuck around in. So yeah, I just wanted to correlate that point back to why the hell is NIKKE top 3, top 5 because they like our game incentivizes people to like spend, and that's just the reality of things. Yeah. So even if our player base is small, we still make a good amount of money because of that. Yeah.
And there is also like a good amount of incentivizing because there is the whole parasocial aspect of the Nikkes. I know a Japanese streamer that
Oh God, no.
MLBs like a bunch of Nikkes all the time, and he's like pretty casual in general if you think about it. He does try to push hard mode and everything, but he's all in all quite casual, and he still MLBs a bunch of Nikkes. He spends like thousands every month on Nikke, and he's he's a tablet player. Just to give you a idea.
You talking about Kevin? You talking about Kevin, brother?
I'm Kevin.
Yeah.
And
I love Kevin, dude.
like there is like this situation where also, for example, I don't know how many people in chat or how many people can relate to that with me, but sometimes, for example, when I played Genshin Impact, I just wouldn't swipe because the rates and the predatory aspects of Genshin were so fucking dog water that I was like, fuck it, I'm not even gonna bother swiping because I'm gonna lose the 50-50. I'm gonna spend like $200 to get one copy of a fucking character that I'll probably only use in Abyss. And like, fuck it, I'm just not gonna spend then, right? Whereas in Nikkei, it's like, oh, neuron activation. Oh shit, this character has a good story.
Good
Let me get
MLB.
fucking MLB, right? Like, or good fucking plot.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like it's like to me there is like that a little bit of an aspect. And it's like, well, I have my layers of safety and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I guess
don't know.
one thing that we can ask Scaro, because I've always been curious, what do you do when you're done with the game? Like what is your motivation to keep swiping on the game? Because my thing is like we all can push hard mode. Once hard mode is done, it's what? Tribe Towers? Tribe Towers is boring as fuck. So then
He's
what
done
is
with
it?
Tribe Towers too, brother. I've seen his account.
He's
done with
done?
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's done, dude.
Manufacturer towers.
Yeah, I reviewed his account like a week ago, and bro literally is on the final stage of every tower, even the normal one. I'm telling you, dude, he has nothing left to fucking do. He just has to stare at his
Oh,
waifus.
He's doing something right now. He's actually starting to clear free-to-play NIKKE on global. He has a global account.
Oh yeah. He
I
told me
know he
that.
has a global account. I'm just asking for his main account. What's the incentive to continue swiping as much? Because he still buys out everything, right? You still buy out everything, right, Scarl?
That's
Like,
what he's
I
trying to go
will
for a
try
level
to
cap.
hit level cap. He says.
oh, you're bro. I don't. I mean, thank you for funding NIKKE too. That's
NIKKE
what I'm
too.
gonna say. Thank you
I
for
mean-
funding that new game they came out with.
Can you at this point? Because at this point it's just the.
There is a level cap in NIKKE currently.
There
'cause
is
basically
level
sync level is tied to how many core 7 characters or limit break characters you have.
It's
Yeah,
just
but
it's
for
copies.
him it's only liberation characters, right? That's
like
not even
689.
tied to.
It's like yeah.
Yeah,
But as
basically.
new characters come out, that's why he core maxes. It increases his outpost level.
Mm.
I think it's a race to like 700 right now because I know JP people are like there are oil barons in JP that hoard and go up like 200 levels out of nowhere, 100 levels out of nowhere. They just
You
wait
should look
for
at
like progression.
Cloud something. Like, I don't know if Lenin is still in the fucking chat. What's the name of the guy from Griffin that has had perfect core dust since day one in NIKKE? Like, actual perfect
Holy
core dust
shit.
since day one. What was his name again? The problem is that you will not see it reflected in his
Nebula.
levels.
Oh, I know Nebula.
Nebula, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
It does not reflect in his levels because he purposefully does not open core dust boxes just to
There was
continue to
a-
have perfect core dust. It's
There was a
fucking crazy.
guy, I think in Omni, his name's Yokai Prince. It's either Omen or Omni, and he popped like 150 levels in a day. And I was like, okay.
That's Omen. That's Omen.
Yeah. I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. Because I see Scarro's line and it's just like a constant increase, and I see people like staircasing, and I'm just like, okay, I don't have the
I don't
patience
know, I don't
for
know how
that,
the
man.
fuck people do that. Yeah, like, it's
Yeah, and like
Weird.
don't be fooled. It's not 10k throughout the entirety of NIKKE. It scales up. Core does scales up. It goes
Yeah,
from
Omni
11k
is
to
it.
12, 12 to 13. It continuously goes up from there.
yeah.
Look
But I
at
guess
the
it's
ego on
interesting.
Lenny. Omni is me. I am
Omni is-
Omni.
Pilots all of Omni XD. Yeah.
They're
Well,
probably
he
more
does pilot
efficient
like a
than
bunch of
me.
accounts in Omni, to be fair.
You're Scarro, you're like a big Leviathan, but you are a casual player, like through and through. You are
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
you are not
You're not
like you don't
Nebula.
care about hard mode.
Oh yeah,
you
no,
don't care
dude. I've
about
seen
any
his
of that.
fucking account, bro. His Alice is bricked. Sorry,
You're-
Scar. I love you.
You can play waifu. You literally can play waifu
Mm.
all you're in here for. You've told me you're here for the enjoyment of the game, and that's fine. Like, but there are people on this game that try hard because they're. I'm one of those fuckers who I see people in my union that are at my level in hard mode, and I have to beat them. Now that Laplace is in our union, I'm never doing that. I might just start swiping again to beat him, but I don't know, man. Like
You should try to compete
competitive
with
aspects
Reika.
are. I'm
He's
ahead of
going back to
Reika.
his spending
Not for long.
status.
It's not a competition. I mean, I'm sorry, I love Reika.
No, Seth, you were trying to say something while these fools are trying to
What's up,
flex their
Seth?
hard campaign.
What you mean? I can flex my hard campaign too.
All right, bro.
What hard campaign you on, Seth?
Chapter
14.
14, I think.
He's catching up to Kisinix.
But
Yeah,
okay,
wish you
okay.
luck.
To be fair, I can't progress because I have to just grow until May.
Sorry, that was a low-hanging fruit.
So you're
tell
you're
your
permanently
chat to
bricked.
fuck off with the whole crow thing.
I can't. They
You're
pay for
permanently
that.
bricked. How much do I have to pay you to unbrick you, Crow?
Yeah. How much do we have to pay you to
You
do
cannot
that?
unbreak her.
And
I cannot reset
and
the
by-
skills. I cannot reset her gear. It's fucked.
Oh, fuck.
you
It's
can
not-
reset her skills. Skill resets come around.
Yeah, every like 4 months, 5 months.
Imagine claiming your okay. Listen.
Your
Whatever
wife
Scarl paid,
says-
I'll have Scarl pay you again to unbrick your account. Okay, easy.
Until May, I have to use her. It's fine. I'm actually surprised that I
crazy.
clear like both chapters on auto with Crow on the team.
If you're
Oh,
gonna
you did.
try
Oh,
hard,
you
try
blew
to spend
CP
less.
gaming? Oh,
Ain't no
that's
way.
crazy.
Scarl, I'm competitive, dude. If I had your account, I would be trying to push like for #1 clear whenever a new hard mode came out. I'd be like, I need to be the first one to clear it. I need to quit out early.
Shout out to Scaro, though,
Christ.
for both supporting the game and the creators to insane degrees. Like,
Honestly,
yeah,
Scar-
yeah.
dude, Scarl's
What a guy.
nuts. I met this guy like in December through Sefhi, and dude frequents all of our streams. I'm pretty sure
He
goes
does,
to
yeah.
everyone.
he does.
It's wild.
He's the reason I have Scarlet.
Not only Scar,
Oh,
but
he gave
in
you-
general,
no.
in comparison to other gachas, I feel like the NIKKE community is fucking great.
No way, you
Just
never
for
saw a
content
game stream, did
creators.
you?
Yeah, because we're not
Yeah.
fucking sending constant death threats to the developers like the other.
There's
like
a
a certain Mihoyo fandom.
Fair
Hmm?
enough.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Wait, you did a full 400 pull sets for Scarlet? How much did he give you?
He
500
Holy
did.
pulls, actually. It's closer to
100
500.
pushes.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
Was
that's
that
why I
just raw
was
gems?
half joking that Elig is a good banner to get Pilgrims.
Which is still like good considering it was like the only unit that you needed to get, right? So
It's a Pilgrim
Yeah.
snipe on a rate up banner. Is that what you did?
Basically.
Or
Yeah.
that's very very good.
That was a very unhinged stream. Like, I'll send you the VOD later. That was really
But I
fucking
think-
unhinged on many levels.
I think one thing that we can talk about positive about the NIKKE as a game is like the community aspect of it. Sure, there's a lot of people that lurk, but like I haven't had as many people watch other streams that I've done. Like Genshin was a dead miss, dude. Like I went on Genshin, it's like, why aren't you playing Eula? That's my wife. Do you think Ningguang's a lesbian because she has like the two
Correct.
things on her
Have you
finger?
seen
Like I think
Arclights?
that. And then like I go to NIKKE and it's like, hello fellow degenerates, would you like to push hard campaign today? And it's just a bunch of people watching me mauled. I'm fine with that. Like
Oh,
it's
yeah,
a
it's
bunch
chill,
of
dude.
it's a bunch of older people. The demographic is a lot older than like other games
Yep.
that I've streamed, which is good
Agreed.
because it's a lot of people that we're degens, yeah, true. But
We're
at
all
the same
mature
time,
degens.
like we're all.
There
you
I,
go.
I wouldn't go that far, made gold, but
Nah, bro. Nah, come on, bro. Nah.
Like,
hey, you got
everyone
the
in
right
the
there.
tech
Steffi's a
community is
made
cool.
too.
Gold.
Steffi's
You
a
should
made.
ask Mythic
again,
what he thinks about
we
sometimes
could
the
do a
Arclights
collab on
community.
mates, I'm just saying.
The backsitting there is to some levels
Bro.
that I don't know how he does it.
Mhm.
I
Like, holy
streamed
shit.
Star Rail yesterday and I was playing with Sparkle and people were like, imagine going to simulated universe and hitting normal CLE damage. Ha, this nerd doesn't even know how to. I'm like, dude, I don't play this game seriously.
Like,
And then I go on
dude,
NIKKE and I'm like, look at me brick my account, and they're just like, hey, we're having a fun time. Woo!
And then
It's
everyone's
like,
just
alright.
memeing us like, bricked. Yeah, it's fucking
It's like
hilarious.
The
fucking
most
hell.
drama I have in NIKKE is fucking with Gold Hub saying how bad we're gonna beat
Fuck
them in
yourself,
UR.
dude. Why'd you have to
That's the
mention
most
me?
drama I have in this game.
if we
like,
exclude the micro.
Yeah, I feel it's because the demographic
Micro
is
doesn't
older.
exist.
Just like you were
Yeah.
saying. But it's not like Genshin or Mihoyo in general, the demographic is a younger audience, 100%.
It's way younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
NIKKE is like
Yeah.
degenerate old men, that's it. Which,
Oh, I've had people try to backseat me, Lenny, in NIKKE. I
Same.
sent the person packing pretty fucking quickly.
The thing is, like with
We're
NIKKE,
not
if they
gonna
see
play
you,
Pokemon.
if they see you like pushing or whatever, and they don't understand what you're doing, they can't correct what you're doing. If I RH tech and they're like, "Oh, this man hit big damage," you're not gonna tell me how to run the account or whatever. And Soul Race
And
is
no
another one.
offense, guys. Hear me out, boys. 90% of the NIKKE community have no idea what the fuck they're doing either. So like,
Yes.
how can they judge us? You know?
But that happens too.
There's
on
so
the
much
Mihoyo
misinformation
community.
in NIKKE.
That happens
It's
too
crazy,
with Mihoyo.
dude.
But Mihoyo has like a lot more creators making videos that can reach millions of views. In NIKKE, you have like what, 15, 20 people making videos? 25, 30
It's a
maybe?
very small. I hope that NIKKE gets to a degree where people get recognition, not just like because I create content on YouTube, but like everybody in general. NIKKE is like one of those games where you look at it at a cursory glance, you think it's a DGen game, and you just move past it. But yeah, we talk shit about certain aspects of the game, but overall, it's in a pretty good trajectory, right? Like they're doing a lot. This is the most QOL I've ever had in a gacha game, and I played Genshin for like 2.5 years, and Genshin's QOL is dog shit. Genshin could never. Star Rail is better. Anyway,
Yeah, Fate Grand Order could never.
I mean, have you guys seen that drama that G Manko's talking about? That it's funny because I know the person that tweeted it. They're actually an old local company from Hawaii. They're tweeting like, "Oh, I don't see people playing NIKKE. It's Coomer bait. I don't know how they're outdoing like Genshin and Star Rail." And I'm just like, dude, it's I don't know
feel
why
that
it
was
matters.
sarcasm.
Yeah,
so much.
I saw it.
Yeah, why don't you just
watched
fucking
the
play
video.
the game, you
It was pretty
idiot?
fun. He made like he made a comment saying, Blue Archive is better. NIKKE has no soul in the characters, whatever. And then people
Oh,
were
Hilarious.
just,
that fucking
Absolutely
tweet. I
hilarious.
saw that shit on your
Introduce
stream.
him to me right now. My whole life is NIKKE lore.
Sefhi has the link. He'll link it.
Blue
Yeah,
Archive has
yeah.
really
Yeah,
good
but
lore and story,
um,
by the way. Like,
the
don't
issue-
diminish Blue Archive.
yeah.
It's actually pretty good. It's
The
one of those games,
issue-
same as
but,
NIKKE, that gets
uh,
dismissed pretty quickly.
wasn't even
Mhm.
that
I just don't
common.
I don't like comparing like stories to other
Gotchas.
games or whatever.
Exactly.
I like to
Yeah, I hate
isolate
it.
and just
Exactly.
like I like
Yeah.
judging it based on what it is. Because when you start saying it's like better than this or that, you have a false expectation on where the story is going, and that's just coming
Oh,
from
yeah.
like a writing standpoint. That's what I went to college for.
I agree
but
with you.
Yeah.
The only one where we can say that when we can say that the writing is subpar and overhyped is fucking Genshin. Let's be real here. Starting over.
You know what I got?
Now we're just
Dude, I-
biased as fuck, Ollie.
No. I played Tower of Fantasy in between Genshin. I was like, this is the Genshin killer. That story was ass. That's the worst story I've ever played.
Oh,
in
that
a
was
fucking
bad.
game, dude. Tower of
No.
what?
Oh, yeah,
My
I
person
found it. I
posted
found it. No offense to NIKKE fans, but I'm pretty sure you don't exist. The game reeks of
Yeah, this is
investor bait.
sarcasm.
The ads look like they're for a game that doesn't exist. Half of the characters are weird knockoff, and its guest characters, Chainsaw Man, have no soul compared to Blue Archive. I am wrong. And then he's comparing Doujin's Blue Archive 3000.
Yeah, that's why I feel it's
NIKKE
just
100.
it's just sarcasm. I feel it's just sarcasm, right?
It's
No,
bait.
no, no,
I
no,
feel
no,
like it's bait,
no,
right?
because in the comments he doubles down. I thought, okay, it's bait. But then
He
you go into the
does?
comments and he keeps going. And he made
Apparently.
another thread later.
Someone called an exorcist. Steambun went into his body.
Seffi, you know what's funny
Someone
about
called
this
an
is
exorcist.
this dude started out at local conventions in my area. Like I know the person who runs this.
Oh,
Like
really?
this dude originated. Yes, yeah. Look at his name. His name is it's literally
Gacha.
a word
Yeah,
from my
yeah.
culture. Yes, yes. But that's crazy when I saw that. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh boy.
Damn,
Dude,
bro,
being
Smack,
ageist.
dude, go beat his ass up for putting shade on NIKKE, dude.
I'm not that much of an elitist. You have a right to your own opinion, even if it's really
Yeah.
bad. Like it's whatever.
Lenny,
Isn't Blue Archive?
no comment. No comment.
I'm not
no
gonna.
comment. Yeah, no comment on that one.
Lenny's
Clearly
back
not.
then.
Princess Allie, would
a
you like to
warrior.
answer that question?
Do you want me to answer? Did you just call me Princess Ali?
Yeah,
Yes.
look at you fucking weirdo. What do you mean, dude? Of course we can call you Princess Canali, huh?
When's the body pillow coming out, bro?
Yeah, dude.
True.
Ain't no way, Ani.
But
no, it
yeah,
is the game you're
one
thinking of.
word to sum up Blue Archive, Cunny. There you go. That's all you
Yeah.
need to know.
My
Pedo
fuck.
bait is
Oh, there it
it's
is.
kind of like how people
Princess Ali is
dismiss
here.
very quickly NIKKE.
You mean Queen Ali, says
Don't
Trauma.
call me princess.
Not princess.
You need to send me that voice changer so I can use it on my stream when I debut my VTuber model.
I can give it to you. Yeah,
Why
it's
are, we here?
dope.
Why are we here listening to this again?
you
Gold,
requested
you
it.
had. Yeah, that's fair. You did request it.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I did request it at the beginning. Fair
I
enough.
No, I'm back
kneeled.
to my voice, by the way.
Gold is
Oh,
a,
damn.
is a tsundere.
Thank you.
Gold is a tsundere.
All
As a fellow tsundere,
don't,
we
don't
recognize
it,
you
yes.
dare call me a Sunday.
I'm not good at Twitch. People don't watch me. Why
Okay,
you?
all right,
Oh my
buddy.
God.
Okay.
Be so
It was
shy.
actually
be so
on brand. We had the maid private tsundere that happened at the same time as the gold maid tsundere. It all makes sense now.
I'm
not
not
forget connection.
collabing with Sefhi with the maid costume on, bro.
Bro,
I'm not.
I accept the maid outfit. I'm telling you to do a collab and you
Why
don't
would
want
you
to.
fucking accept
Did you
it,
slap your
man?
thigh and go? When you slapped your thigh to get the unit, Gold did.
Oh,
Do you still have the furry costume, by the way, Sefhi?
Yeah, of
Because you
course.
could mix that with the maid
Furry
costume.
oh god, don't. Oh no, I don't. I wouldn't watch his stream.
What you
Do
mean?
you think he throws it out, bro? He's waiting for another day.
Leona came out
Yeah.
and I bought a lion outfit. You know, pretty fitting for the,
Oh,
for the
that's
bar.
that wasn't that bad. I thought you meant like a full blown like suit.
Oh,
suit
no,
you're
no,
gonna
no,
come
no,
on
no,
stream.
Oh no, you have to be
Yeah.
an oil prince to have one of those, apparently.
Those cost a lot of money. Yeah.
So
Anyway,
anyway,
should we go
bro.
back on topic now? The fuck.
True,
What
true.
were
on
we-
Is
top.
there anything else in terms of the patch
I think we're
notes that
done.
we
Like, is
missed?
there
I
anything
don't think
else?
there's.
We are.
Let me check. I'm pretty sure there's anything else in the patch notes.
Five
Did we get you
people
enough
with
ad revenue,
ADHD.
Seffi? We got you enough ad revenue for the stream so far?
No,
yeah?
because I played music earlier.
He needs this as free content, boys.
So there is
People
no
leave.
there is no revenue. Because
Damn.
I let people control Spotify, but it's fine, all good. Yeah, I think we went
I mean, I
over
don't
the
think-
treasures. We went over the collection
Yeah.
system. We talked about the gearing system. We talked about Union Raid, about drama
Mhm.
with piloting accounts, paying on solo raid.
Mm-hmm.
The cosmetics, we all were agreeing it's good. We like cosmetics, doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't think in terms of the patch notes there's anything else to talk about. We derailed the conversation later, which was fun. It was a pretty
should
good
do.
conversation. I still think we should do this more often, by the way. Say.
I
What
was
should we call
about to
this
say
pod?
that.
So chat was like, "What should we call this podcast name? If we're gonna do this."
The
Yeah.
bum down podcast, bro.
I'm dead.
That's
Bum.
5 ADHD men. I swear to God, it's 5 ADHD men.
Nah, call it the
Japanese
NIKKE Bros or something. I don't know.
Can we just call it the hub since Gold is here?
What the fuck,
good.
dude?
The Gacha hub.
Don't steal my ideas.
Gacha
Listen, it's
Hub
not my. You
home.
branded your whole union after Pornhub, all right? You did that yourself.
Give up, dude.
Your
Whatever.
banner is a
Yeah.
Pornhub banner with rupee on it, okay? Okay, bro. Sefhi Hub. I don't care what we call it.
Fuck, I'm down.
Sefhi abducted me last night when I was about to bed, and he's like, "Pyre, are you free tomorrow?" And I was like, "I'm free. Yes, I will come
I
on."
was like, I
And then
think
he's like,
it's a
"Gold is
good
late,"
time.
and I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, he messages me at like 3 in the morning, and I have to answer at like 7.
Bro,
I'm
it's
like,
because of
"Alright."
my timing. Which means it's because of the schedule.
Yeah, you call
The
it a good schedule, bro. You call it a good schedule.
Yo,
Oh,
the
that's a
Made for
good
You
one.
podcast.
Made
I
for
like
you
that.
podcast. Yep. And we
Yeah,
have
but
to
you
do
know
a
that
maid
one,
outfit. 100%.
I'll dress up in a maid outfit. I have no
Oh,
shame.
no.
100%.
Scott,
I have.
I'll be
lots of
hot
shame.
as fuck.
Yeah,
I'll
I
be
have
honest,
Should I
lots of
make
shame.
it so that there's like a random ass like 10-second face reveal of me?
Wait,
in one of
Ali's
the
already in a maid
podcasts?
outfit. Wait, we're good. That's like a maid
Ooh.
outfit already almost. Let's go.
Should I replace myself with the God of Death? Hold on, let me just fetch that image.
Ain't no
what about
way.
Jay? Jay, you confident wearing a fucking maid outfit, dog?
Only the people that were in that stream know what the
He
God
can be
of
the
Death is.
butler. Don't worry. He can be the butler.
I've never
It's fine.
tried. Can't say I've tried.
Oh no, PTSD.
Yeah, then let's not listen to Scarl's idea then.
Listen, Scarl funds this stream. Whatever
True.
Scarl says goes.
Fucking hell,
If it's a maid for
bro.
you podcast, it is.
We're all held at
Do we have to-
gunpoint.
Do we have to sing the Made for You theme as well?
Oh, and
The
we
one
have to
that
do
Soda
the
sings?
Hey.
QQ as well. Every
Okay.
time we finish,
Oh,
100%.
let's do Coochie Woochie Boing. We have to go become
I'll
tastier
post
Coochie.
in-
I'm gonna grab the light sticks. I'm just gonna be 8 in the background, just like swinging it everywhere.
I'll
Like,
post in the chat the God of Death so you
Yeah.
guys can just see what I'm referring
Oh,
to.
you saw it. Wait,
Bro, that's too good.
what
That's
the
too
fuck
good.
is that?
I don't know if Sefhi can. Oh yeah, Sefhi is
Yeah,
showing.
yeah, you should be.
Let me see.
I have a
Oh,
question
okay.
for Sefhi. When are we doing that Pyrex versus chat? Because I doubt your chat listens to lore.
I
I'm ready
don't
to
know.
smoke them.
No, they do.
All of
They
them.
do like lore, but I don't know how
They
to do
don't.
it. So I was thinking on chat sending questions about lore, me trying to guess if it's true or not because I have no fucking idea. Then you correcting me. I think that would be a good concept.
yeah,
can do
Sefhi
that.
gives
I
out a
was
monthly
planning-
per question he gets wrong.
Oh fuck no! That's like
Way,
all questions wrong,
bro.
bro.
Can
Bro, he's
Sefhi
gonna be
just top
poor.
up every time he gets it wrong? He buys me a battle pass. It's a battle pass every time he gets it wrong.
Oh my god, dude, he's gonna be
I'm not
poor.
wailing
All of a
You're-
sudden, like he logs in. Days
Family
remaining on
Feud
Battle Pass,
NIKKE.
2,000.
Wait, Family
okay.
Feud NIKKE with content creators.
That's what. Okay, so I wanted to do something like Jeopardy with content creators for NIKKE lore. The problem is I don't know people that play the story. Everybody I watch skips. Sky,
Oh, I
Sky
play
is
it.
literally like this. Like I'll come on Sky stream and he's like, "I chat. We're playing story."
No. Listen.
That's
He
literally true.
reads the lore, dog. I've told him a million times. Hey, bro, read the story on stream. He does it. Not for the event.
Dude, you know why I did the summary series? Tomias literally told me I don't listen to the story. Tell me the story, and then he
that's
sponsored me
fucked.
to do it.
Oh. I mean, to be
was gonna
fair,
literally
bro-
do, like,
Bro plays like 9 other gacha games. You know, give him some slack. You
bro
know?
plays with one
My-
hand. He wankages and then he plays NIKKE. Listen,
Like Tim literally
Classic
plays
Tim.
too, from what I know.
Tim gets sponsored for everything too, so he has to play all those gachas because of his
Oh, that's
contract.
true.
Yeah,
Oh, that's true.
Oh,
Me
they-
and Raika do enjoy the story.
so I can't put them on the same team. I have to put like a bunch of bums with people that know the story. I have to split you guys up.
Actually,
I mean,
I was going to suggest a raid location so that you guys know another person that streams NIKKE, because I don't think a lot of people know her out of
Oh,
our
who is it?
communities.
Hubie?
Little Juju. I'll put the
Who
link
the
to her stream.
Fuck is that?
She's the person that I tried to help because she lost her account for NIKKE for political reasons.
Oh,
If you guys, those who are in the CC tab, will probably remember me talking to Shelma about it.
Mm.
I mean,
Basically, they created a typo on the email that she never made herself, and her account was kind of like gone forever. So she
Mhm.
probably has started from scratch now again.
Mm.
Was she
That's
restarted?
unfortunate.
If
Yeah,
I
it looks
lose my
yeah, I'm
account, I
up
will
for it.
not be restarting.
She's using Eleg, Maiden, Neon, Ether.
Keep in
Yeah,
mind,
she
she
was
started from
restarted.
scratch not that long ago.
you know what's funny about that? It's like there's so many dead high level accounts now. I shit you not. We could probably find a high level account just
Yeah,
like
for
for
Good,
her.
yeah.
Yeah.
True that. Yo, Lenny,
Probably,
you want to
honestly,
hook her up on
probably,
Omni?
yeah.
Do you want to hook her up in Omni? At least you'll
If
have
you,
one of
if
those
you go on
dedicated.
Enik right now, actually, there's like at the very end, there's so many dead accounts, dude.
We found like
Jane
12
Omni. She's on
yesterday,
NA, so
yeah.
you also have that advantage.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll just go contact some people that I know that have like 6 dead accounts they're piloting.
I could,
I'm
I
on
could
a
probably,
one,
dude,
yeah.
I could probably ask people in Carnage because Carnage boomed. So
Oh wait, you know
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
do send them my way. I'm not paying for Hitmen. Give me them. Give me
no,
them.
because
look at Lenny.
Zoya is one of Carnage's sister guilds. So
Oh, I know it is, but I don't know why
Yeah,
Cabbage exploded.
Carnage went boom a while ago.
Okay.
I don't know
Yeah.
where
The
they
worst
went.
part is Lenny is an officer and he pilots the account, so he knows the amount of dead accounts. Yo, Lenny, what percentage does Yuri Neko pilot out of Atoms? I was thinking it was around 70%, but is it higher?
We have 20 plus dead, 400 plus accounts.
God damn! Oh,
Yeah.
holy
Almost 100%. There you go.
bro, but
Hey,
he's global.
how about this person I just met? Okay, how about this? I'll pilot your account, get you to 20 and kill Nihilist, so you give me all those accounts. Cool? Deal.
Yo, nah, dude, that's unfair.
Can you do me a favor? Can you pull Enik on stream and just look for Atoms on global? Just read what Lenny just said in chat as an answer when I was asking if it was 70% of
It's
the
almost
union.
100%.
What do
It's
you want me
Neko
to check?
Airlines.
On sync?
Yeah, it's called
You're going on
Atoms
Enoch. No, you're going on unions.
on unions. Yeah,
Yeah, Enik app, yeah.
Union
unions. Top. Yep.
NA?
Top.
Unions.
Union,
Very
Unions.
top.
very top. Union,
Right under home.
Not union right.
On your left.
I'm gonna guess it's NA, right?
It's it's global. It's
global.
Global.
Yeah.
It's called
Lenny's
Atoms.
You're fine
global.
on global.
Which one?
Holy shit.
Atoms.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I would have say this. Okay, Atoms. Just search atoms, like the thing that makes molecules.
Yeah, ATOM.
I didn't graduate.
There we go. Rank 20. It's Neko
Bruh.
Airlines.
Bro.
100% piloted, by the way. Everything.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, hand her one of those accounts, dude.
Yep.
She's gonna be like, holy
Neko
shit!
Airlines.
Oh wait, Uncle's in that union?
Yeah, Uncle G's in there, yeah.
Yeah, Uncle is in that union.
Oh.
The raid probably ends before he before he comes back from work, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah. That's all the topics, right? I would say.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
We derailed. We had fun. It was a good talk. Love you all, guys.
Agreed.
Thank you for coming. Honestly, if we will repeat this.
I
I'm
expect
down,
my
I'm
paycheck
down.
in the mail.
Yep.
You
I
can
will
message
send
me
you
whenever.
a pic with my outfit. Don't worry.
Oh my god.
Can we please stop talking about this?
So, people in chat, you can say goodbye to all these beautiful people for coming. Thank them. Right?
don't
Go
forget.
I'll be
follow
live
them.
in 2
We have the
hours.
links in both YouTube and Twitch. So most of them you will already follow. But GG's.
Thanks a lot, guys.
I'm gonna
GG's.
mute myself for a second.
Kiss
here.
everyone.
Bye.
Peace. Bye-bye.
Kiss.
Bye. Oh, can
Later.
you write the person that I said, or too late? Thanks a lot.
And
I appreciate it.
Mr. J, slide me those dead accounts. I'm
Okay.
dead ass.
These people. Let me check everything. Wait, what are you talking about the camera? Oh, I removed it because we're doing this. There we go. Isn't this too fucking big? The background image? Some good bunnies. Good bunnies. That's it, brothers and sisters. It's been a long stream. It was a good talk. I love you all. Thank you for coming. Those of you here on Twitch, I'm gonna be